It's another scorcher with temps up in the low 90s, but we are ready for the grand finale that could decide who punches their ticket to the playoffs and who will have to start all over and play for a spot in the second half. It's the Hastings Sodbusters and the Spearfish Sasquatch live from Black Hills Energy Stadium in beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota. As we welcome you up into the press box, I'm A.J. Reister. Aiden Wirtz producing, directing, and we'll hop on the headset here in just a moment. It's a huge day in terms of the standings as the Spearfish Sasquatch are just one game back of the Hastings Sodbusters after splitting the doubleheader yesterday. But ultimately it comes down to today. If the Sasquatch can get the win, they will be tied for first place in the Independence League. We still have another week until the halfway point. A lot of games for Hastings in front of them. Just 3 for the Sasquatch. But as we talked about a lot last night, this is something that each team can control, and that's all that's important right now. With the next week and a half, neither team will be able to control what the other team does.
100%. Can't control the weather. Can't control how the other team plays. You can control how you play. You can control how you act after you strike out or after you make an error, right? There's 9 innings in the game. Obviously, there was 7 in the doubleheaders yesterday.
And the day before that, too.
Right, yeah.
3 7-inning games so far in this series.
Before the game starts, you're set to play 9 innings, so play those 9 innings. Don't play 1 inning and think the game's over. Don't play the 6th inning only and think the game's over and you're winning. You know what I mean? So I think we talked about it yesterday, pacing yourself, slowing yourself down. That doesn't mean physically. I think that really means mentally, taking a slower pace mindset at it and thinking, okay, we're going to chip away, pitch by pitch, strike by strike, bat by at bat. And they've been doing that yesterday in the second game. So they really had a good finish to that one.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting series so far. The Squatch won the first game. 13-3 run ruled the Sodbusters, then came back, front half of the doubleheader, lost it 5-1. A lot of opportunities for Spearfish. There's no doubt about that. Just couldn't get the timely hits, but came back and won the back end of the doubleheader 8-5 to move back within one game of first place. But we have a heck of a matchup here today, starting with Evan Luke, who's starting on the mound. He's been the guy who has started just about every big game for the Sasquatch, whether it's to start off a series or close one out here for the Sasquatch. His story is really interesting. Only pitched one inning at Central Missouri this last spring, coming off a torn tricep. But he's had some really lively stuff. He said the biggest hindrance he's had is his velocity coming back from the injury. But it's really looked good since he's gotten here to Spearfish.
Absolutely he has. You just had a fun interview with him a second ago. We talked about some superstitions and whatnot, and we know those in baseball are, mental game more than anything. So
exactly. We're about ready to get started, leading things out for the Sodbusters for the fourth time this series is Christian Loera, the starting shortstop. First pitch from Luke. Finds the zone for strike one. Now, Evan Luke, he talked about in his pregame interview with us that he loves to start off at-bats with off-speed pitches, and that's because a lot of guys are, of course, expecting the heater. So he has a pretty solid slider, also mixes in a curveball that's pretty good, and loves to throw those two pitches early in counts and isn't afraid to use them as get-me-over pitches in a 3-1 count, 3-2 count as well. When it's more of a fastball-friendly count, he will go ahead and trust his slider and his curveball. 2-1 from Luke, grounded left side. Foyer picks it up, bobbles it, throw across the diamond. Good stretch from Nelson is in time.
Foyer's got that really smooth pickup with that ball, if you will. I mean, when he comes forward, it's almost like he's going to get it. A couple times when he's kind of weighted back on the ball, that's when we see his errors appear more. But when you see him charging forward, that quick little step he does, it's beautiful to see it short.
Well, and even just the small bobble he had on that play. Yeah. Strong enough arm. Nelson with a great stretch at first. And a quick first out for Evan Luke, and that's another thing that he brought up in his pregame interview. He really struggled getting the leadoff guy out when he first played Hastings about 3 weeks ago on the road to open up the season. He went 3 2/3, allowed 2 runs, struck out 4 and walked 4, also hit 3 guys. So looking for a little bit of a better outing the second time here against the Sodbusters, and he's in front 0-2 to Drew Vega. Tapper to the right side. Nelson comes out from first base, flips to Luke in time for out number 2.
It's a nice play right there by Luke to get over to the bag and kind of let Seth Nelson deal with that ball in his leather there. 2 outs early on for Evan. And, AJ, we've talked about it before. When Evan's been on the mound, sometimes when he walks a guy, you can see frustration get to him. That's because he's a winner, right? He just wants to win. He wants to battle, and he's done so far in these first 2 at-bats. But really great kid and good to talk to.
Yes, and he mentioned the PFPs that they do at Central Missouri and how much they pound that into their pitchers. They do it a ton at practice, and he said if you mess up, you're going to get your butt chewed.
Yeah.
And he said he's had his butt chewed a few times, but that is by far, of course the pitching is great. The sinker has really come alive to replace his four-seam fastball to have a little extra bite. But when he comes off the mound, it's also been really good. Flipped out to shallow right just over the outstretched glove of Nelson. Into 2-out single. But when you have a guy like Evan Luke, he's tall and lengthy but can get off the mound, and you're pretty comfortable with him making a play when it's hit back to him.
Absolutely. That's one of those hits right there, too, where you kind of dust it off. Not too much you can do, not too much Seth can do over there. You would have had to be playing way further back in the hole at first base, so not too crazy in the mind right now.
Well, and the big thing with Luke this summer is he hasn't really allowed any big extra base hits as the pickoff attempt goes up the first base line, and it's an extra 90 feet for Jaden Shabry after he had the 2-out single.
Frustrating one to toss away right there, but again, I think this is just the mindset we've been talking about the past couple of days, right? You've got 2 outs. Focus on the batter right here. Get him out.
Ryan Jarvis ready at the plate. The cleanup hitter for the Sodbusters and tonight's beer batter.
Tonight's beer batter indeed. Up here in the press box, we've just got our non-alcoholic drinks. AJ, we've got some water that's probably turning lukewarm as we speak from this 92-degree heat.
That's why I chugged it the second you brought it up here. I'm probably have to go to the bathroom at some point this game.
Won't we all? So there's an extra long ad break. You'll know why.
Luke comes set with the 0-1. Here's the pitch. Popped up left side. It will get out of play, and it's 0-2. Good look from Nick Work. Just a little too deep for him to go get.
Yeah, that beer batter is a fun thing, though, here in the IBL. I know some fans really appreciate tonight. Beer buckets discounted off from $22 to $20. So if you're watching at home and you think, maybe I should come to the game, there's an extra couple bucks off your, the old debit or credit card, whichever one you're using here, or cash.
And it's the last home game for the next 5 days. Ground ball right side. Fort lays out for it, picks it up, throws to first in time to end the top of the first. Luke Strand's a runner in scoring position, and we are scoreless through half.
And miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Taking the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters is the freshman from Billings, Montana, Elijah Thomas. Attends Jamestown University, making his third appearance of the summer. He's thrown 5 1/3, has struck out 4 and walked 4, has an ERA of 0.00 and a whip of 1.31. Easily some of the best stats out of this Sodbusters pitching staff outside of Austin Raines, who we haven't seen yet this week. Those two guys, along with Graham Hilton, who's only pitched 2/3 of an inning, are the 3 guys that have a 0 ERA. And the Squatch will have their hands full with Elijah Thomas. Here's Lucas Torelli, the 5'11 senior from Dallas, Texas, finished up a year at Eastern New Mexico University and is currently in the transfer portal, looking to go Division I for his final year or two. He'll face the lefty, though, in Thomas, and he starts him off with an off-speed pitch, and it misses low for ball 1.
Yeah, Torelli's been a great addition for the Squatch. Had some doubles the other day. Definitely has some speed out there in the outfield, too.
He's got a pretty decent arm as that one clips him up on the shoulder, and the Squatch have the leadoff runner on.
He'll take that all day.
Absolutely. Torelli actually started the game 2 last night, went 2 innings, had 4 walks, 3 runs. One of them was earned. Excuse me, had 3 runs. Oh, I said that right. 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 earned run. I'm just realizing now that I forgot to print off the box score from Game 1 yesterday. I'm going to have to go back and do that.
What do you need to know? I've got it all in the head right here.
You got it all?
Yep.
What did Owen Michelson do in Game 1 yesterday?
I believe he ate a hot dog and a half down in the dugout.
I think you might be right.
Yep.
No, because Carson Rather started the second game, so Owen actually played in Game 1.
Yeah.
But he might have had a hot dog and a half.
I'm trying to think what he did yesterday. What did Owen do? He didn't hit a home run, I can tell you that.
I can probably pull it up in my book. Nonetheless.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Because Gio did not play, or Gio did not catch yesterday, didn't he?
No, he DH though.
Yeah. Right. He hit, but he just didn't play. Yeah.
Yep.
Was the
here's
first
Mickelson.
game where it kept popping out of his glove?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Had a tough day behind the plate, but he did walk.
Because he was catching Agadol.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is never easy.
No.
He's got some electric stuff.
He did throw somebody out, though.
He did, which we've become pretty used to with Mickelson.
It's pretty common with him, yeah.
He's in an even count 2-2 with Torelli on first after the hit by pitch from Elijah Thomas. They'll check on him. This season, Torelli has 1 stolen base. For Mickelson at the plate, he's hitting .291 with a .406 on base, has 15 runs and 15 RBIs on the year. 2-2 upstairs.
It's always a dangerous thing, that pickoff right there from any lefty pitcher, man. I mean, you're at first base. It's always tough to tell if they're going home, if they're coming towards you for the pickoff move, but Turley does have some wheels.
Full count, runner takes off for second. It's inside for ball 4. So back-to-back free bases puts runners on first and second for Kyle Finn.
Mr. Finn
McMissile, right? Finn McMissile?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, from Cars 2. Yeah. Yeah.
He's been swinging a missile and hitting a lot of missiles over the left field fence. He's got 5 home runs on the year. Leads the league in slugging and OPS as well.
Yep.
Away for ball 2. Now, Kyle had an intentional walk. I believe was it the first game against Hastings, or was that in the series against Oahe? I think that might have been the last game against Oahe.
Yeah.
All the days and games are starting to mix together.
I'm sure for the players, too.
Yeah.
We looked at Hastings' schedule yesterday. They don't have a day off
until the
halfway mark. So they got like 8 games, 9 games in a row or something.
Something ridiculous like that.
Obviously, the Squatch have a couple days off here, and I know some players are going back home to see loved ones and do whatever. I was talking to Hoppy earlier. He's going back to Madison to go actually hang out, but also coach a Legion team with his buddy. Because his buddy's Legion team is 1-16, 1-14. So
Hoppy can go in there and turn things around.
Doing the hottest.
Ooh, fouled off the front leg of Finn. He buckles after he hit it off.
Yeah, that one hit him right off the calf or shin area. That doesn't feel too good.
He's got that shin guard on there, but clearly missed it. I think it actually got his back leg. Don't typically wear any protective gear on your back leg, otherwise you're up there with catcher's gear. But
don't typically need it too much, but
definitely an awkward spot to get hit. He steps back in 1-1. Low for ball 2.
I want to give a quick shout-out to Grayson, who just tuned into the stream. He left us a little comment here. One of the longest and best nicknames I've heard, Golden Goody Grayson Carl Superhero Ninja Turtle Chapeau, a.k.a. the Pop Tab Kid. I'll get faster at that as the season goes on. But Grayson,
got it down.
Grayson, good to have you, man.
Grayson's fun.
Great kid, great family. And I got to give a shout-out to the little brother, too, Caleb. He's caught more foul balls than anybody in the history of
25
Squatch ball yesterday.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
You could buy a few meals with all those Squatch bucks.
You could. I think they told me yesterday he tried saving up for a jersey or some sort of shirt at the end of the season. So really smart investing tactic there from the 9-year-old, who, by the way, was hitting 70 miles per hour in the batting cages at the rec center yesterday. So
full count to Finn is inside for ball 4 and 3 free bases for the Squatch. Has him loaded for Seth Nelson.
Yeah, and you talked about his 0 ERA, which could be shattered right here. No outs for the Squatch, bases loaded. But, again, this is a great spot and simultaneously a very tough spot because you could easily ground out here, throw it home, ground a double play. It's the last thing you want to do here, so we'll see what Seth can do with the plate.
In his 3rd year with the Sasquatch, the 6-foot senior from San Pedro, California, hitting .152 this season. We've called it the last dance for Nelly. Trying to just make an impact and be a leader in the dugout for the younger guys. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman waits for it. Flips to second for 1. The turn is in time to get him. First run of the ball game does score, so Nelson picks up an RBI as Torelli crosses the plate. But a double play has the Sodbusters an out away.
Yeah, it's not
from avoiding the jam.
Not the most fun way to get an RBI. You're still on the board nonetheless, but obviously such a tough position to be put in there. It's, again, you hit one in the outfield, you get 2 to 3 RBIs. But
Kwapnowski on the first pitch. Past the first baseman into right field for a base hit, and he'll pick up Michelson, and the Squatch take a 2-0 lead. Barely had time to finish writing it down in my scorebook before the Squatch had already picked up another run.
Feels good right there for Kwap. He's been swinging a pretty solid bat, one of the best outfielders, too. He had a crazy diving play the other night.
Unreal catch. I still think we need to submit it for SportsCenter Top 10. You think they'll accept it a few days late?
Yeah.
They better.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, a play like that, they should.
They should accept it for the name alone. Who the heck are the Sasquatch? I'll tell you. Possibly the leading or tied team in the IBL after this game.
Here's Aaron Niels. Takes one upstairs for ball 2. A 6-foot redshirt freshman from Newburgh, Indiana. Attends the University of Evansville. Is hitting .345 this season with a .394 on base. 9 runs, 4 RBIs. Grounds it left side, backhanded by the third baseman. Long throw to first is dug out by Jarvis for out number 3. But the Squatch tack on a couple runs and take the first lead of the ball game on a sacrifice ground out from Seth Nelson and a base hit from Sam Kwapnowski. 2-0 Squatch. Second inning when we come back.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium. AJ Reister, Aiden Wirtz here on the microphone for one of the biggest games of the series. I want to give another shout-out to one of the people in the comments that just blew a tire. They're waiting for AAA to come. They'll be at the game as soon as they can. And if that doesn't tell you how much dedication these Sasquatch fans have, I don't know what does. So hopefully you can make the game soon. We hope your car's doing well, and you hope you get a trusty tire on that new guy soon.
Hey, if they can get here with a blown tire, then you can too.
Then you can too. The little engine that could.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, man, we talked about the attendance. It wasn't great as the start of the game kind of occurred, but later on we're getting some fans fouling in here.
Drilled to left but foul from the leadoff hitter, Brock Cross. I mean, it is a pretty hot day, and if you're not in the shade, put on about a bucket of sunscreen because it is scorching hot.
Thanks for reminding me. I know the UV's going down, but still this Irish skin is not doing well in the sun.
1-1 from Luke. Curveball drops in for a strike, and it's 1-2.
It's a beautiful pitch right there. You could tell he's taking some speed off that guy right there, and he's just way ahead of it.
That might have been actually his slider, not his curveball. A little bit more horizontal break than vertical. Ahead in the count, 1-2. That one misses upstairs. And Luke has been solid through 1 inning. He let up one base runner on the bloop single to right. This one's golfed to the left side and through for a base hit. And a one-out single a leadoff single for Brock Cross.
Just tossing your bat at it right there. not exactly advised to take an outside pitch and try to pull it right there. But again, I think that term you use, golf, is a pretty solid one. You know, you're just trying to get around the side of the ball right there and pop it through.
Trying to fix the slice.
Trying to fix the slice, aren't we all? All the former baseball players trying to fix the slice until I'm 70 years old and I can actually afford lessons. They'll tell me my swing's been more messed up than I don't even know what.
Here's Graham Hilton. Squares to bunt, pulls back. It's a ball to throw down to first. It is not in time.
And if anybody bunts more than this team, then, I mean, I don't know how many bunts they have a game, because yesterday Hastings had, I want to say, upwards of 5 in 2 games, 5, 6, something.
It was
there.
a lot.
They definitely showed bunts 7 or 8 times at times.
Almost every at-bat, they really show it.
Right.
Here's the 1-0. No show this time. It's in the dirt. Good stop by Michelson. We talked about it. Had a rough day yesterday behind the dish. A lot of balls were popping out of his glove, but so far through an inning, pretty solid. Obviously, good block there, but squeezing everything so far. Cross a few steps off first. The 2-0. In the dirt again. Great stop by Michelson. The throw down to second is in time by a mile. Michelson is a brick wall back there and has a cannon of an arm to gun down whoever's in his way.
Owen Michelson is the equivalent of Thanos, per se. We're just we're just inevitably eliminating people. Inevitable. Owen Michelson, one out a game.
That one's upstairs for ball 4, and Graham Hilton's aboard with a walk. It's been spectacular to watch him. And again, had the off night last night.
Yep.
But it's very rare for him. He's been so good behind the dish, blocking pitches, throwing guys out, squeezing pitches to bring them back within the zone. Just a great overall catcher. Pick-off attempt not in time. And he's got the old school gear on, doesn't have the helmet that's all put together. He has of the backwards baseball cap helmet with the mask that just hangs on it. He's definitely more of that old school catcher rather than wearing all the new gear. He sits in a pretty regular stance, doesn't do the Mitch Garver with the leg out.
Right.
He sits pretty normal. Well, as I say that, he goes into the Mitch Garver. One leg out. There's a strike. But the gear, I really love the gear with the backwards baseball helmet and the throw-off mask. 1-1. Big hack and a miss. Gets away from Michelson, but no test this time. Hilton learned his lesson after watching Cross get thrown out.
And AJ, I know that just looked it up to confirm, but Coastal Carolina, they made the College World Series Finals, and they had a whole documentary or a small documentary on their catcher, actually.
Really? Breaking
him down because he was a Buster Posey candidate this past year. A phenomenal catcher, apparently really, really technically sound.
1-2. Upstairs, the throw down to first, and Michelson is not afraid to show off the arm tonight.
That ball got a little bit of a crowd interaction there. That thing had a bunch of tail on it. Almost looked like a screwball coming over his head. You know, very far from a strike, obviously, but.
Here's the 2-2. Pulled foul in front of the Hastings dugout. Let's take a look at that last pitch. Yeah, it had a lot of tail on it. Almost, instead of going away from the batter, it came up and in.
Yeah.
And around his head. Just missed his helmet. Looks in, 2-2. Kicks and fires. In the dirt, gets away from Michelson. The throw down will not be in time, as that one just got behind Michelson. And it's a full count upcoming. Jackson Crane at the plate, the starting left fielder for Hastings. Full count, 1 down. Hilton on second. Nick Work up near the grass. Fouled off and just in front of the Spearfish dugout. Caught him up in the hands. Drilled to left field and down the line for a base hit. Hilton around third. He will score. The throw to second is not in time. An RBI double for Jackson Crane. It's 2-1.
Very nice at bat right there. Getting a hold of a couple foul balls, just kind of staying alive in the strike zone. Shout out to BGs and staying alive. But, yeah, I mean, a really nice piece of hitting right there. Just kind of advance some runners, AJ. Luke's still pitching pretty well, still putting balls where they can be hit in a good sense. He's not just lobbing them in there, obviously. He's got some good control for the most part, but
he's been around the zone for the most part. Quite a few pitches in the dirt that Michelson's had to pick up. Here is Luke Kazi. Breaking ball finds the zone for a strike. And like you said, great piece of hitting by Jackson Crane, able to foul off a couple of pitches and pull one down the line to cut the lead in half. Tying run in scoring position, the 0-1. Lifted out to right, Kwapnowski a few steps back underneath it, makes the catch. The throw in will be cut off. Crane does tag up and advance 90 feet.
Nice job by Sam to kind of flip the hips and get out there. For a second, it looked like he was kind of backpedaling, which is never the first step you want is back. It's always either forward or it's a horizontal in the outfield. Of course, you know, it's that ball hung in the air long enough for him to backpedal and kind of flip his hips once, though. So
Jet Hannaford, the center fielder, digs in with the tying run 90 feet away. Still early here in the second, but it's always nice to be able to even up the scoreboard, have some insurance, have some outs to play with.
Yeah, as we mentioned, really hot day here in the ballpark, but players still very excited for this one.
Another breaking ball misses high, 1-1.
Yeah, fans starting to fill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Not too bad now.
Every single one of them, before heading to their seats, stopping by the concession stand to pick up a cold beverage. And we're going to need some more up here after this inning.
Yeah.
Might have to phone in a request on the walkie.
Yeah, can I get some Gatorade up here? Over. Thank you. Yeah, we had our Gatorades yesterday. That was nice, those electrolytes.
In the dirt, ball 3, good stop by Michelson.
AJ, when Evan talks to you, what's the biggest thing he's talked about working on besides the whip that you talked about earlier? Is there anything technically that he's trying to get better at?
He of course, since coming off the torn tricep, he wants to get his velocity back, but isn't trying to do it too much. He doesn't want to overextend it. This is really his first full workload. Right back to him, and he'll flip it on to first, walk it halfway there for out number 3. But he's not trying to overextend it too much, but, of course, always trying to pick up that velocity.
Right.
That ball had some velocity, but Luke able to corral it for out number 3. 2-1, going to the bottom of the second when we come back. Seven, 8, 9 to lead things off for the Sasquatch. Peyton Fort, Ben Foyer, and Nick Work. Peyton Fort, news has been getting around that this is his last game in a Sasquatch uniform. Getting ready to go play at Georgia Gwinnett And again, the weird thing with summer ball, a lot of guys come in late, but some guys do have to leave early. Tyler Russ, he pitched his last game last night. He's hitting the road tomorrow morning. Peyton Fort, not exactly sure when he's going to be leaving, but from the sound of it, this is going to be his last game in a Sasquatch uniform this summer. And boy, has it been a treat to watch him swing the bat.
Yeah, AJ, he'll be sorely missed for sure. You mentioned it before we came back from the break. It's kind of like a second leadoff, these next couple of guys. And Peyton's got a nice, short, quick swing, and he's really put some out there batting. 379, is that what you said earlier?
379 with a 443 on base and 915 OPS.
Beautiful. Beautiful stats. Good kid. He said he plays some ball, or he was playing some ball in Iowa prior to this year.
Yep, at North Iowa Area Community College. He was there for the last couple of years.
Yep.
Really made a big jump this last spring, hitting 368 with a 538 on base. Had 4 dingers as well. But he works a 4-pitch walk to lead off the second.
He also leads the league in stolen bases still?
He does. I think might be. He had 8 coming in. It might be 9 now. I can't remember if he had a stolen base yesterday.
He did have one yesterday at some point. I'm pretty sure. Unless it was I'm pretty sure he had one.
It was either stolen base or a pass ball. Nonetheless, he's fast. He has a great read on pitchers. It's going to be tough with a lefty on the mound. But he's got a lot of speed. And, again, just great IQ when he's out there.
Yeah.
Him and Foyer play a great middle infield. They've turned the most double plays in the league this summer. Foyer puts down a bunt right in front of home plate. Thomas picks it up, throws to first. It's low, brings him off the back, but he kept his foot on just long enough for out number 1.
So the Squatch playing some Hastings Sodbuster ball out here, bunting a little bit. If any guy's the guy to get down the line pretty fast, it's obviously him or this next guy up here at work, but nice job to advance a runner right there.
Thought that maybe Jarvis had come off the bag before he caught it, but I think that was ultimately the right call. Here's Nick Work, the starting third baseman, attends South Dakota State University. Is originally from Madison Lake, Minnesota. Started a lot his freshman year. Made 47 appearances and started in 43. Hit 132, but again, freshmen don't really get a whole lot of playing time in their first true season. But when you're a freshman that does, especially at a school like South Dakota State, you know you've got some good potential.
Absolutely.
2-0. Called a strike inside, 2-1.
Yeah, Work's been a solid asset. Jack Rabbit to Sasquatch, both some pretty fun mascots for him.
Both in the state of South Dakota, but on the complete opposite ends of the state.
Well, tell me about it. I mean, when you're coming to Spearfish, you're getting your black hills and your trees, but you're not getting that on the east side of South Dakota. You're getting the same thing as you get in Iowa.
Yeah. Just barely bordering each other. 2-2 is low. Ball gets away. Fort was already taking off, and he'll have no contest. Insurance run 90 feet away for Work if he puts it in play.
Another nice jump for Fort right there. Helping himself advance and get in a position where even if a ground ball comes in here.
3-2, swing and a miss. Down he goes. Big strikeout for Thomas. But it flips over to the top of the order, Lucas Torelli. You want to talk about having a good spring season, you have to bring up Lucas Torelli. Started in all 50 games as a senior at Eastern New Mexico. Ground ball up the middle, gobbled up by Vega, and he retires. Torelli, who was hitting .410 this last spring, but unable to bring in Peyton Fort. It's 2-1, headed to the third. Top of the order due up for the Sodbusters. It's Christian Loera who grounded out his first time up, and they're going to call time, waiting for the music to turn off. Now we're ready to go. First pitch squares to bunt, pulls back. It's called a strike. Evan Luke back out for another inning of work. He's been solid today. That one misses inside for ball one. Tipped into the glove of Michelson. And one of his big goals today was to come in and not allow a leadoff guy, which happened a lot down in Hastings.
Yeah.
He got the first guy out, which was Loera in the first, but let up a leadoff single to Cross in the second, but he was thrown out by Owen Michelson, so he ended up not causing any damage. Trying to get Loera again, fouled off.
Nice at bat from Loera. He's been a pretty nice glove at shortstop for Hastings these past couple of days. He made some really nice plays there, some double plays as well, and he's hit pretty decently.
Loera this season overall is hitting .321 with a .486 on base.
Yeah.
He's easily been one of the best bats. Tapper foul. We'll do it again.
Long AB here from Luke to Loera, but Evan's still putting some decent velocity on this right now.
See if he goes to the slider, the 3-2. He does, swing and a miss, strike three. And Evan Luke picks up his first K of the night.
And a little tip right there from Loera. Michelson able to keep in his glove. That was a small, not problem yesterday. Well, I wouldn't say it was a problem, but it was definitely something he was struggling with yesterday, was to keep that ball in his glove. Had 3 or 4 in a row pop out of it.
Ended up scoring one of the runs for the Sodbusters in game one after it was a free base and then 3 straight pass balls that just popped out of the glove of Michelson or went between the wickets. Having a good bounce back game today. Upstairs for ball 2. Two and 0. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball. 2-1. Drew Vega grounded out his first time up. Popped up shallow right center. It's Niels who makes the catch for out number 2 in the gap. Hung up there for a while. It split Quap and Niels, but stayed up there long enough for Aaron to get over there. Here's Jaden Shabry. Had a 2-out single his first time up, just flipped it over Nelson's head to keep that inning alive.
Yeah, not the most powerful hit, but whatever you can do to get on base.
Luke's had a couple of pitches that have just slipped out. Michelson's done a good job of keeping what he can in front of him, but a couple that just are held on a little too long or let go a little early. And they hit the backstop. Quick meeting with Michelson and Luke, just making sure they're on the same page. Looks like they are. Now, Michelson didn't catch Luke the first time they played Hastings. It was Masterosa. But these two have, of course, been battery mates multiple times since then. It's kind of fun to watch all 3 of these catchers for Spearfish get their time and get to catch all the different pitchers that this bullpen and starting staff has to offer. Hack and a miss. And another strikeout for Evan Luke on a high breaking ball. And he puts them down 1, 2, 3, 2-1 Squatch. Bottom of the third coming up. Owen Michelson to lead off the third in a 2-1 ball game. First pitch from Thomas floats upstairs, and it's 1-0.
Owen's always been good from behind the plate and beside the plate. Of course, he got kind of screwed in that first Hastings series. No balls were dropping for him.
That's really changed since we've gotten to Spearfish, and a lot of people have started to come back, and his bat's been coming back too. Now hitting .291 on the season with a .406 on base. He walked and scored his first time up. Hack and a miss on the breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Thomas has got some pretty nasty stuff when he can locate it. That's been the biggest problem today for him, is finding the zone. 3-4 free bases today, including a hit by pitch to open up the ball game. And has another one here.
There it is.
Making the 5th free base allowed by the young freshman Elijah Thomas. And now he'll have to face the veteran Kyle Finn. In his second year with the Sasquatch, has jumped around from JUCO to JUCO, has jumped around from playing baseball to not playing baseball. And despite all the breaks he's had, as this one gets away, Michelson has second. Despite all the breaks he's had in his career, he is one of the best hitters in this league. We've already talked about his numbers, but he's become one of the most feared guys in the Independence League when he comes up to the plate. Everyone knows the kind of power he has. And it's quite the stance. I mean, you look at it, no batting gloves, straight up and down, quick hands when he gets through the zone. And it's pretty quiet with everything. There's not like any violent movement except with the top half. When he gets on a baseball, his hands are so fast through the zone that when he doesn't make contact, it's just a foul tip. When he makes contact, it is an absolute missile.
Absolutely.
Quick meeting on the mound with the Hastings head coach.
Yeah, he's got a pretty nice song, Hypnotized by the Notorious B.I.G. for his walk-up song. Of course, he is notoriously B.I.G. himself. What's he standing at now?
6'7".
6'7".
6'7", 225.
Yeah, not a small man, that's for sure. He's got quite the frame, yeah.
Yeah, he's moved around from first base to left field. He's in left field tonight with Seth Nelson at first. This one's popped up and fouled over our heads, 1-0.
I'm telling you, one of these days, maybe a ball will come near us. I'm not quite. We're kind of in a tough spot. You'd have to hit it pretty soft over this net, have it drop right into this little gap we have here. But
we were close that one time, the first home series.
We were.
Thought we were going to have one. And we've got our gloves up here, so we're always prepared, just in case. We should probably have it on if we're actually going to be ready for it. Hopefully if one is hit softly up over the fence, we can catch it barehanded.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool clip.
Speaking of bears, and I promise I'll connect this, I'm going to Tetons this weekend, and, you know, we don't have our gloves at the ready, and all the reviews I've been seeing about bear spray, they're like, well, don't keep it in your backpack, because can you imagine a charging bear, and you're like, hold up, Mr. Berenstein, let me just unzip my backpack real fast to grab this for you. So I walk here for Kyle Finn, and we're talking about bears. But, yeah, grizzlies and black bears out there. Not dub bears, not the ones from Chicago.
I thought that's where you were going with it.
A little bit scarier, honestly. But
you think dub bears are scarier?
Oh, no.
Okay, good. I was like, because you're dead wrong on that one.
No.
Being a Vikings fan and all.
No, man, the monsters of the Midway past couple of years have been the baby Cubs of the Midway, which is fine. They're growing, you know, as a defense, as a team. But definitely not monsters quite yet.
Center field is a full-grown monster for you guys.
Yeah.
PCA.
Yeah.
He's going to be an absolute animal.
Just had his 20th home run last night. I think he has, I want to say, one of the only players over 40 with home runs and stolen bases combined.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Here's Seth Nelson with nobody out and 2 on. In the dirt, gets away, but in front. Nice stop by Graham Hilton, who's been doing the catching duties all week for Hastings, and a heck of a week to be starting 4 games behind the dish. A whole lot of heat besides game 1 that had some rain at the beginning of it.
Yeah. Ice those knees.
Good take from Nelson upstairs, 3-1.
And Seth was put in a similar position last time here, right? He had bases loaded, no outs. Of course, hit into a double play, drove 1 run in, but in a similar one now, you don't really want to do the same thing here.
Especially in a 3-1 count. Got to drive something if you're going to swing. Thomas takes a look at second, but Loera wasn't there.
Yeah, not the easiest pickoff for a lefty, probably trying to spin the entire body back to second there, but a look nonetheless.
Comes set. Now he'll throw, and it bounces off the base, but good job by Loera to at least keep it in the infield and hold Michelson at second.
Got Samson the Sasquatch here. We talked about it earlier, and we love him, but, man, we cannot imagine how much he puts into these games. He's sweaty. I mean, we're sweaty, and then we don't have a whole costume on us.
Nelson pops it up straight into the air. Hilton will take a look at it, but just barely misses a fan. Hits the roof of the press box, and it gets over us. That nearly just nailed a fan, but she got out of the way just in time.
Yeah, high five from Samson, although she could have been, I don't know, high five in an ambulance if she wasn't more cautious. They say heads up, and I don't know where the fans are looking, but hey, at least they're safe, right? And that's the goal.
Full count on Nelly with nobody out. Popped up again. This time it's in play. Jarvis underneath it behind the bag makes the catch for out number 1.
Just getting under it.
He's been underneath it a lot these last couple of weeks. He's been able to get a hold of a couple as a double in the last couple of series, but for the most part, every time he's gotten out, it's typically been because he's underneath it. Here's Sam Kwapnowski. He's been trying to get underneath one for a while in front of this home crowd, but when he's needed the big base, he's come through with it and stayed patient and on top. And here he needs to do the same thing. It's the mindset and the battle of, do you swing underneath or do you stay on top of the ball? You, of course, want to hit bombs, but sometimes if a guy is on top of the ball, the mindset needs to be get under it. But if a guy's underneath it, the mindset has to be get on top of it. It's overcompensating for something that you're already doing and it's not working.
Right. Another pickoff attempt right there, or at least to try to hold him.
Nearly caught Michelson in the helmet. Ground ball to the second baseman. Vega flips to second for 1. The turn in the dirt in time to get Kwap. Close play at first, but the double play is turned and runners are left stranded again. 2-1 Squatch, and another opportunity squandered by the Hastings middle infield. Great turn. Vega, Loera to Jarvis. 4-6-3 equals 2 tonight. Evan Luke back out when we come back. Evan Luke back out for another inning of work. He's thrown 3, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and has struck out 2, and he just threw pitch number 53. He's been pretty efficient, but that second inning was tough. Had that leadoff single and then the double from Jackson Crane. But for the most part, he's been around the zone and getting ahead early like he has here against the cleanup hitter, Ryan Jarvis. Just misses the bottom of the zone. And Evan Luke asking where that missed, and he says, the home plate umpire said it was away. And you know it's a close pitch when the pitcher is the one asking where it was and making a visible motion of like where it was. Because normally the catcher will be the one to do that.
Right.
And then relay it back when he's putting down the fingers. That time it was Evan that asked. Ground ball off his glove. Luke picks it up, spins, fires in the dirt. Picked up by Nelson for out number 1.
We'll take that all day. Evan Luke, heck of a pitching performance so far, and he's made some nice plays in the field as well.
Those PFPs at Central Missouri really paying off now.
Yeah, right.
And he had to make a couple of plays when we were down in Hastings. Of course, with how much they bunt, he had to come off the mound a lot, and it was a lot tougher down there because it was raining hard when he was out there.
Yeah, it's been pretty opposite here. We had the one game that it rained a little bit, but for the most part, it's been just dry.
Hot and dry. It's dipped down to 88 now, so it's starting to cool off. If 88.
Very cool, 88.
Yeah. Sure doesn't feel cool.
No, not until this water gets poured on us in the press box soon.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's definitely not the coolest of days out here in South Dakota, but the first day you and I got here, it was snowing in May. So
total 180.
We'll take this.
2-0. Can't find the inside part of the plate. I took a look at the radar. It said by the end of the game it's supposed to be in the high 70s.
Okay.
So cooled off a little bit. There's a strike. Brock Cross leaned away thinking it was too far inside, but Luke gets the call that time. Skips away for ball 4 is off the plate. And a 1-out walk for Brock Cross. Second time he's been on the base paths tonight. Here's the catcher, Graham Hilton. He walked and scored his last time up in the second.
AJ, you talked about Hilton. He's been behind the dish for basically every single game, and that's not easy in any weather, especially in this weather.
Yeah, especially with how this week has been. But he's been swinging a good bat this season, the junior from Mustang, Oklahoma. And he pulls one to Nelson, picks it up, steps on the bag for the out. Was hitting 290. That'll drop after he grounded out to Nelly at first. And now Evan Lucan out away from stranding another runner. He'll have to face Jackson Crane, though, who hit an RBI double his last time up.
He gets out of this one right here. It'll be a nice performance for him so far. If he goes another, only 1 run through 4 for him so far. Some nice strikeouts for Evan as well.
He's got 2 on the day, trying to pick up another one to close the 4th. Starts him off with a foul tip into the glove of Michelson. We've got a potential gender reveal today once we get to the bullpen. Diego Trujillo's sister, I'm expecting. Popped up to right center, giving chases Kwapnoski. He'll make the catch and end the top of the 4th. Good stuff from Evan Luke. Allows 1 base runner, but picks up a couple of weak contacted baseballs. And he leaves him stranded in scoring position. 2-1, bottom of the 4th when we come back. New pitcher for the Hastings Sodbusters is the freshman from Galveston, Texas, attends Dodge City Community College. It's number 28, Austin Raines. Making his 4th appearance of the year, he's thrown 9, has a 0.00 ERA, 7 strikeouts to 5 walks, and a 1.11 whip. Leads things off with Aaron Neals in the bottom of the 4th, a 2-1 ball game. Squatch trying to tie up the Hastings for first place in the Independence League. 0-1 to Neals, skips in the dirt. Again, the Squatch split yesterday with Hastings, so after that, the Squatch won't have a chance to outright win it this week. But again, a lot of games still left in this first half with a week to go. Chopper left side, gets by both defenders and into left field for a leadoff single. Brock Cross tried to cut it off, and then Christian Loera lost it as Cross crossed in front of him.
Neal's been solid so far. Had a couple of hits throughout both games yesterday. Evanston Aces. It's a fun team to follow sometimes. Some of the ones that aren't exactly mainstream media, but they got some fun players in their teams, and they're coming out for summer ball as well.
Here's Peyton Fort, a guy definitely should watch out for moving forward. Going to Georgia Gwinnett with Kyle Finn. And in his last game for the Sasquatch, he'll be finishing the summer season above 300. Came into today with a 379 average. He walked in his first AB. And he was one of the guys that had a slower start.
Yep.
Didn't have his swing back quite yet after another season at North Iowa Area Community College. But boy, these last few weeks, he has been the toughest out in the league. 1-1. Takes the breaking ball, misses away. Umpire has not called that part of the zone at all tonight.
No, he has not. We've obviously had some different umpires throughout the past couple of games in this series, but you just have to learn them, figure out what they like, what they don't, as pitchers and as hitters, of course.
Misses inside. And Raines is not getting either side of the plate right now.
Yeah, you got to go right down the middle now. You've gone right, you've gone left, you've gone inside, outside. But again, you don't want to put one down the middle versus Fort.
3-1. Lifted out to left center. Hannaford lays out, and it drops for a base hit. Peyton Fort stays hot. And back-to-back singles for the Squatch put 2 on for Ben Foyer.
Yeah, you could tell that center fielder just did not get the greatest read on it. I don't know if the wind had any large effect on it, but you could tell he kind of hesitated, thought he might be able to catch it right at his knee level, but ended up having to dive forward. He's got his head down out there, moving some grass around with his cleats, saying, man, I should have gotten that one.
I thought it was going to hang up long enough for him just to get underneath it, but it died at its apex and was not able to come in to make the catch. Did Raines just drop the ball?
Yes. He might have been off the rubber.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been a balk. I'm pretty sure is what the ruling would have been.
If he was on the rubber, yeah.
Yeah. Foyer squares the bunt, puts it down. Raines comes off the mound. He'll go to first in time to get the speedy Ben Foyer. The second time he's laid down a perfect bunt. At this time, it puts 2 runners in scoring position for Nick Work.
Yeah, again, always tough to get that call and kind of sacrifice your AB for a bunt. But when you know you're putting your team in a better position and hopefully driving in a run inherently here, I mean, that's a really good job. Almost associatively is the better word for driving in a run there through your bunt and moving runners over.
I wish there was an offensive stat, like in hockey, the assist.
Yeah.
I guess there's the sacrifice, which does that technically go down as a sacrifice even though a run didn't score?
I mean, you know, you could chalk it up that way. I don't know if there's a category that says sacrifice to possible run, you know. It'd be a
popped up, left side, cross and foul territory. We'll watch it hit the stands in front of the Hastings bullpen. And Work behind 0-2. I mean, because that's why the sacrifice, like, stat is there.
Right.
is so it doesn't affect the batting average. But in situations where the run doesn't score, I don't think it goes down at it. I used to be really good at keeping score and knowing all that stuff, but that seems to have been lost since in age.
In age.
Since I've turned 21.
As if you're so old.
Seems we've lost in age a little bit.
Yeah, AJ is turning 76 next weekend, if you didn't know.
Yeah, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Infield in for Nick Work, the 1-2. Away. Good tank by Nick.
God, it's a tough take.
He really wanted it. He really wanted to swing.
Yeah, and again, that's one that you probably totally could swing at and just get your bat on it a little bit, stay alive, but that is a very tough one to hold back on.
Just trying to poke it somewhere. 2-2. Good take again. Ball 3.
Just a little low right there. Taking 2 in a row. Nice job by Work, AJ, right here. Got to have not a hitter's mentality necessarily to kind of crank one, but at least put one in play here. Infield still in.
Full count, 1 down, bases juiced. Squatch trying to extend their lead, fouled away.
That's a way to keep it alive. Make the pitcher work for it now.
3 hits, 2 runs to show for it. In tonight's ball game so far, 2 of those hits have come in this inning. The 3-2. Line drive over the shortstop's head for a base hit. 1 run scores, and that will be it. Should be 2 runs score. I didn't see Aaron Niels come in. No, it was run. Okay. I was like, hold on a minute.
No. You're right.
I was right the first time. Niels did come in.
Niels came in, but Fort's still over there.
Yep, so that puts runners on the corners.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I just about lost it.
What a great at-bat right there from Niels.
Able to hang in tough, work a full count, and just poke it over the shortstop's head. Christian Loera, who's been great over there. But he drives in a run. Here is Lucas Torelli. Now runners on the corners for the leadoff hitter. Nick Work on first, Peyton Fort on third. Aaron Niels is the 3rd run of the ball game. Called outside for a strike.
Yeah, that one definitely had a bit of some outside line coverage to it, if you will, to not debate the umpires.
Fouled away. Wouldn't be surprised to see Nick take off at some point this at-bat.
Yeah.
Probably thought he would have taken off a little earlier, but he's got a lot of speed. Especially against a team like Hastings, who can pick you apart, especially when you have a lead. Crack to center. Hannaford back, makes the catch. Fort tags from third. There will be no contest, and a sac fly for Torelli extends the Sasquatch lead to 3.
To 4, or yeah, the lead to 3. They got 4 runs, is what I wanted to say now. But a nice job right here, popping another 2 runs in this inning. Had 2 in the first for Spearfish as well. Owens coming back to the plate with a couple more buttons down than his,
when he first came up.
Yeah.
Nick Work on first, 2 down, in a 4-1 ball game. 4 hits for the Squatch, 3 of them in this inning. First pitch popped up, it gets out of play.
AJ, I just had a weird question to ask you real quick. I know we've talked about being out here and how much we love it, but I was looking at somebody's food over there, and it kind of looked like something from home. What is the food you miss most from home, whether it's Minnesota, Iowa, or somewhere else that feels good for you?
That's an easy question. I'll get to it after this pitch. Away, 1-1. It's my mom's teriyaki chicken and rice.
Love it.
It is
sounds phenomenal.
The best stuff I've ever eaten. Her beef stroganoff is also really good.
Yep.
Love that, but nothing like some good old mama's teriyaki chicken and rice.
Yeah. Sounds pretty tasty, I'd say.
It is. She used to make, like, an ungodly amount when my friends would come over.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost concerning how much we would eat, and it would be gone within an hour.
Yeah. That's great.
Typically, it'd be after, like, a swim practice, so we're pretty hungry. But
Sure.
Yeah, we would scarf that stuff down.
I bet.
Big secondary from Work. Takes out for second on the pitch in the dirt. He probably could have taken out for an actual stolen base there, but he held up until the pitch was low. And now it's 3-1 on Owen Michelson. He walked and scored in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third. Trying to get on for the third time tonight. (3-1). Taking all the way for ball 4. Even Michelson thought that might have been close for a strike, but he'll take the third free base of the day for him. First and second, 2 down for Kyle Finn. Couple of walks for him. Always a chance for him to get a hold of one.
Yeah, there's always a shot.
First pitch upstairs for a strike.
Of course, his strike zone's a little different than other players. That ball is a ball on about 70% of the team.
But not on a 6-7 frame. It's kind of crazy to think about that just a few years ago, Finn was playing club ball at San Diego State.
Yep.
Didn't know if he wanted to get back into actually competing at the collegiate level, was just focused on his studies. But again, we've said it time and time again, he actually raked in college ball. Popped up right side. Jarvis will give it a look, but he'll find the concourse. I mean, he hit .439 with a .520 on base and an .878 slug, had 40 RBIs and 9 home runs, led all of club baseball in the entire country.
Yeah.
In the majority of offensive stats.
Yeah. That's gross.
At a Division I school.
Right.
And those kids that play club ball at Division I schools are guys that just missed the cutoff to walk on. Line to center, Hannaford backpedaling, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. The Squatch tack on a couple of runs on 3 singles. Aaron Neals, Peyton Fort, and Nick Work drives in the RBI. 4-1 Squatch, top of the 5th when we come back.
Monument Health offers a more personalized and precise procedure, customized for your anatomy. Get going with Monument Health, your partner for advanced orthopedic care. They finished the cleanup down the first base line after Nerf the Intern was just completed. A couple of kids trying to shoot cans off of Cooper Smith and Eli Burrow's heads. Not even close, any of them. But picking up the bullets, and we're back to live action as Luke Kazi leads things off for the Sodbusters in the top of the 5th. Evan Luke back out. Away for ball 2.
Yeah, Evan would be stoked if he can get out of this inning with no runs for Hastings. That would put him through 5 innings, only 1 given up.
He said one of his big goals this summer is to have an ERA sub-3. He has a 2.14 right now. Also wants to get that whip a little bit lower. It's a 1.48 right now. Wants it closer to 1.1.
by the end of the year. And he said before the game that he wants a 1-1 for this game, but I think his goal is to eventually get it down to that number by the end of the year.
Right. Some really nice sliders, I believe, are coming in on the outside corner here, painting it pretty perfectly. Little Bob Ross action with the old seams here.
The 2-2 from Luke. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And another strikeout for Evan Luke.
Yeah, that pitch has been nasty for Ev tonight. He struck out a couple guys with that. Just putting it in the right spot.
Looks like Aiden Brothers up and moving around down the bullpen. Aiden Bob Brothers. Bob is his nickname.
Bob.
Here's Jet Hannaford. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball. Nasty stuff from Luke. He is feeling it here these last couple of innings.
They cannot seem to find that ball. They can't track it really well right now. I don't want to bite my tongue here, but Evan's throwing that thing pretty nastily.
Skips away. Now the story about how Aiden got his nickname, it's pretty funny. He actually told you. You're the one that actually told me how he get it.
Yeah.
I can let you
sure
tell the story.
Sure, I'll tell you right after this pitch here. Hopefully another strike from Ev.
Squares to bunt, puts it down at the third base line, but foul. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically we're in the field house at BHSU, right, because we're taking the pictures for Media Day, and he's shooting the ball around, and I'm like, hey, what's up, my name's Aiden. He goes, my name's Aiden too. Well, actually it's Bob. And I'm like, well, it's kind of a big jump, you know, and so I'm like, why? And he goes, well, when I was younger, my mom was dating this new guy, and I don't really like him, so when the new guy started asking me my name, I didn't say anything at all. So the new guy, the new boyfriend, was like, I'm just going to call you Bob. I'm just going to call you Bob. Why not? And from there on out, he's been going by Bob. Obviously, he's living with Aiden Knowles as well, so having two Aidens in the same household makes it easy when one of them goes by Bob and not Robert, so it's not short for anything, really. It's just kind of a funny story from a, you know, guy in his life that wanted to call him Bob when he wouldn't give him his name.
And
so.
it's stuck.
And it's stuck.
And it's stuck. It's the crazy thing.
He'll introduce himself as Bob sometimes. He'll just go with it.
Back-to-back strikeouts, though, for Evan Luke. He has been dealing, trying to make it as easy as possible on Bob, who might be coming in. 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Christian Loera takes inside for ball two, and that last strikeout was the fourth one for Evan. All four of his strikeouts have come in the third inning or later.
AJ, I've probably asked you this question before, but speaking of nicknames, you ever have any that you really went by in terms of a sport or just a family nickname?
Just AJ.
AJ?
I mean, AJ is my nickname for my real name,
right.
So I just kind of go by it. Similar to how Bob introduces himself as his nickname, that's what I do.
Yeah.
4-pitch walk on Loera brings up Drew Vega. It's been tough for Evan to get out of a 2-out spot. He's gotten 2 outs pretty quickly almost every inning. It's been getting that third one that's been tough. He did have a 1-2-3 inning in the third, but every other inning he has had to face at least 4 guys.
But again, if he gets out of this one, no runs right here, he'll be pretty ecstatic with his performance, I'd bet.
Breaking ball misses low. Now Diego Trujillo up and moving around in the bullpen. And he has a fun announcement if he gets into the ball game tonight. His sister's expecting, and he is going to be the one to do the gender reveal. So his sister can find out back home who's hopefully watching.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Big
awesome.
Congratulations. Good stop by Michelson, gets away. The runner takes off for second. The throw goes into center field. Loera on his way to third. He rounds, but will hold up.
Yeah, Owen's got a cannon and a very strong arm, and he's throwing some guys out, but that is absolutely one you hold right there. That runner's about halfway to the bag, and honestly, Yadier Molina probably wouldn't make a throw right there because he's already got momentum going towards it. Owen's trying to roll to his left side, kind of like a quarterback counter, you know, or quarterback rollout counter. And, yeah, just not the prettiest of overthrows, but, again, still an opportunity here for Evan to get out of this scot-free.
Drew Vega in a 2-0 count. Breaking ball misses high. Nick Work up near the grass, even with the bag. Trying to hold this runner at third. upstairs in a 4-pitch walk. Back-to-back allowed by Evan Luke. That's going to draw Michelson to bring in the infield and Justice Scott to pop out of the dugout. Both Bob and Diego moving around. It looks like he's going to motion down to the bullpen. And it looks like it'll be Aiden Bob Brothers first out of the pen for the Sasquatch. Good night for Evan Luke. Picks up 4 strikeouts. Just couldn't quite get out of the 5th. Final stat line for him: 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run. It's earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts on 83 pitches. The walks are what ended up hurting him at the end. Half of those came in this inning, and he'll be relieved by Bob. Luke takes the stroll back to the dugout. His team in front 4-1, another great outing for him. He's going to say he wish he could have kept the walks down, but you got to credit the guy. 4 strikeouts, all of them coming after the 3rd inning, and allowing just 1 run on 3 hits. Great outing for the young man. Now comes Aiden Bob Brothers. We'll introduce him and get you ready for the next hitter, Jaden Shabry, when we come back. The 6'1" redshirt junior from Gridley, California, Aiden Bob Brothers on the mound, attends Oklahoma Wesleyan University with Aiden Knowles, and he comes into a jam with runners on the corners and 2 down. First pitch to Shabry, drops in for a strike. Great outing for Evan Luke. Had 2 strikeouts in the 5th. Looked like it was going to be a clean 1-2-3 inning, but ultimately back-to-back walks. And Brothers comes in a bit of a pickle. Soft liner to short under the glove of Foyer. 1 run scores. Runner from first trying to take third, and he will. Drew Vanga goes first to third. Loera comes in to score, and Jaden Shabry just snuck under Foyer's glove. Now there, if you're Ben, you either have to commit and come in and try and catch it, or wait back on it and wait for the long hop, and he instead came in a few steps, then decided to wait, and it ate him up on the short hop. Good pickoff attempt from Bob, but not in time. And it's always tough on those soft liners. You don't really know whether you're safe to come in and make the catch or if you should wait back, so you get caught in between, and ultimately that's what ends up happening. There's a strike on Ryan Jarvis, the cleanup hitter, with runners on the corners again and still 2 down. Runner takes off, but it's fouled away. Jarvis behind 0-2. He's grounded out twice.
takes a strikeout for $2 off beer here at the ballpark. And the Squatch fans are itching for it. Just outside. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Aiden Brothers and $2 off beer for everyone at the ballpark.
Really nice job by Bob to come in and at least mitigate the damage to a minimum. Just one run right there and get out with a strikeout. So Sasquatch still give up one run there, but not as many as they probably could have. A nice job by Evan Luke. Just a commendable job starting for the Sasquatch.
And everyone starts to make their way to the concession stands for $2 off their next beer. 4-2, bottom of the fifth when we come back. Seth Nelson will lead off the bottom of the fifth in a 4-2 ball game. He'll be followed by Sam Kwapnoski and Aaron Niels. It's cooled off quite a bit here at the ballpark. And first pitch was 92. I don't know exactly what it is now, but at least it feels a little cooler. Maybe closer to 84. What's your guess?
81.
We're both way off.
76.
87.
That's what I said.
Okay, no, it loaded. It's 85.
All right.
I still won.
What's it feel like?
Good question. Popped up left side, Crane towards the line, giving chase. He tracks it down for out number one. Deep fly out for Seth Nelson. He's just hanging his head coming back. Knows that he had a good barrel, but just underneath it. The feels like is 85. Similar to the actual temp or right on the dot. Yeah.
I guess we got a fan blowing up here. Every once in a while I'll get a gust about every 5 seconds. It feels a little bit cooler, which is nice.
Yeah, me too. We just need to have 2 fans directly on
yeah.
each of us. Here's Sam Kwapnoski. Is 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI single in the first, then grounded into a double play in the third. Breaking ball, can't find the zone. Austin Raines still out on the mound. He's been moving quickly. And has been pretty close with all of his pitches.
Yeah.
Around the zone. He's allowed just 1 free base, but 2 earned runs. Popped up again, deep to left. Crane going back a few steps in front of the warning track. Makes the catch.
Once again, Sam just really wants that home run, and that was an oppo one, so maybe not as much power into it, but still got a good barrel on it, and 2 nice plays from the left fielder.
He's been close. He's been really, really close. He's gotten a hold of at least 1 or 2 baseballs every game since he's been back. He just hasn't been able to poke one over a fence. Here's Aaron Niels. Singled and scored his last time up in the 4th. 1 for 2 after grounding out in the first. Popped up right side. And over and on top of the Spearfish dugout. A battle for the foul ball, and it's won by a young lady down there in a jersey. The horde of kids came crashing down on that foul ball, but ultimately number 4 for whatever team is in attendance came up with that baseball. Just misses Niels 2-1. Nearly got his knee. Laced to left for a base hit. 2-out traction for the Squatch on the Aaron Niels base hit, his second of the night.
Niels has done that both times. Just put a good rip on the ball right over that shortstop third base gap over there. Nice job by him.
Keeps the inning alive for Peyton Fort. Walked in the second, singled and scored in the fourth. It's been this bottom of the lineup that has scored a lot of runs for Spearfish this summer. We continue to talk about Peyton Fort's great summer. Again, his last game in the Sasquatch uniform. As we were informed before the game, I thought he was going to be here for at least another week, but
yeah.
Ultimately he will be heading home after this game. Runner takes off for second. The throw down is in. No, he got under the tag. Boy, it looked like the ball beat him there, but the umpire says
listen,
he missed the tag.
I honestly agree from an I know it's going to be hard to believe to say unbiased perspective, obviously, but I agree. That ball beat him by about a step, and I think he slid right underneath it. We're not going to be able to see it too out from the replay, but I think the tag was on about his calf, and I think his foot got in there.
So Aaron Niels has second base and insurance in scoring position for Peyton Fort. In the dirt. I mean, Aaron he stumbled when he took off for second. So the throw beat him there, like you said, by a step because he stumbled. But still somehow able to get in. That's Niels' third stolen base of the year. Peyton Fort in a 3-1 count. Got to be good if you're swinging. Trying to poke one into the right center gap. A lot of green out there with Hannaford. Moved over. Laced to right. Field for a base hit. Niels around third. The throw in from right will be cut off. And an RBI single for Peyton Fort.
He is just so tough to get out, AJ.
It's nearly impossible. It is nearly impossible. He has been so good these last few weeks and will be greatly missed after tonight. A big reason why the Squatch are in position to tie Hastings for first place in the league and potentially punch their ticket to the playoffs. We were talking about it off air, but not Iowa. Spearfish will not have the tiebreaker if it comes down to it because Hastings swept the Sasquatch down in Hastings and then took one last night in the doubleheader. So if it does come down to that, Hastings will have the series and will have priority over the Sasquatch. If it comes down to that, again, Spearfish can hold on to win this one and then try and sweep the prospects next week and put themselves in good position to win it.
But even winning this game here and taking this series 3-1 for Spearfish would be absolutely huge for them. Having lost the first couple games this season to Hastings and kind of having a rough, rocky start, these would be nice here.
1-2. Called strike 3. Ben Foyer is rung up at the plate, but not before the Squatch tack on another run. In his final game as a Sasquatch, Peyton Fort delivers an RBI single. It's 5-2 as we head to the 6th. Brock Cross, Graham Hilton, and Jackson Crane to lead off the 6th. Aiden Bob brothers back out for another inning. Cross fouls it back. It's 0-1. Some more movement in the bullpen. It looks like Brian Young is up and moving around, and can't tell who the other guy is, but he's not throwing, so I'd assume it's just BY that's moving around. Crack to right, coming in is Quap, and he can't get there. Falls in front of him, and Brock crosses aboard with a leadoff single. Sam definitely thought about laying out for it, but ultimately decided to hold up and play it safe so it didn't get behind him for potential extra bases. Here's Graham Hilton, the catcher. Walked and scored in the 2nd. Away for ball 1.
Might be Aiden Knowles out there.
Looks like he has a football in his hand. Rock Sport. Line drive to right center. That'll drop in the gap. Cross on his way to third. The throw in will be cut off by Foyer. And back-to-back singles for the Sodbusters, and they have some movement here in the 6th.
You think you could put a little seam shift weight technique on a football?
If there's any guy to do it, it'd be Aiden Knowles.
There's no reason why you'd really want to make it move that much when you're throwing it, but
well, you can put some pretty nasty movement on your throws.
I can, yeah, just the underhand ones, the little football knucklers, if you will. An interesting finish right there for that swing, just a singular arm.
Yeah, Jackson Crane, the left fielder, had an RBI double in the 2nd, flew out in the 4th, and starts off with a swing and a miss. 0-1 from Bob. Fouled away, 0-2. Good start for Aiden.
This is definitely a position you need to kind of take advantage of. If you're Bob right here, 0-2, runners on the corners, no outs. Need to at least put a ball where he can't hit it, try to get him catching, or try to catch him swinging, pardon me, get your first out, kind of get some confidence back here.
Ready with the 0-2. Runners stay put. It's popped up to the right side. Kwapnowski giving it a look in foul territory. Makes the catch. The throw in quickly. Runner takes off for second. It's off of Brothers' glove. But out number 1. Gutsy move by Hilton to tag up and take second. Cross didn't even think about it. He's still at third. And they're going to check the play at first to see if Hilton took off early. And now the umpires are going to talk about it. And they're just saying, nope, he stayed long enough. I mean, he had a heck of a jump when Sam caught it, and he threw it in quick. And Hilton was already halfway to second. Definitely a good check there from the Squatch. Here's Jackson Crane. And that might have been a miss on the umpire's part as well, but what do you see there on the replay, Wirtzy?
I think he was good. Yeah, it was. He didn't really take off. He kind of jumped off the bag for a second, but didn't really take off until Bob came over to try to cover first and missed that throw in, that cutoff from Sam.
Nasty breaking ball from Bob has Crane in front. 1-1. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think they're all good on that call right there. The infield cam got bumped down around a little bit in the dugout, or the bullpen, so we'll fix that here in just a moment.
The 1-1 squares to bunt. It's popped straight up into the air, but behind Michelson. Trying to suicide squeeze and drive in Cross. Brock had already started to break when Jackson squared to bunt. It'd be interesting to see if he tries to do it again, but wouldn't be totally surprised after what they did on Tuesday with 2 strikes. One and two. Breaking ball, shot to the left side. Work has it. He'll run the guy to the plate. It's Brock crossing a rundown. The play at the plate. Gets by Bob. The run scores. The throw from Michelson is just off the glove of Brothers. And Brock Cross comes in to score. on the infield single from Jackson Crane. It's going to go down as an error, but I guess I don't really know who you put that on. Do you put it on Bob? Do you put it on Michelson? Do you put it on Nick because he didn't go to first? I mean, it was the right play by Nick.
Right.
I don't really know who you put that on. Nonetheless, 2 more in scoring position, and Jackson Crane is the tying run. Pinch hitting for Luke Causey is Weston Johnston. One of the best bats in this Hastings lineup. Hitting .383 on the year with a .486 on base, has 18 RBIs. Looking for 19 and 20 with a base knock. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, and the one thing Bob has to focus on here is not getting in his own head of making a small error right there, of course, forcing a run to come in, but he's pitching to contact pretty well so far, so a couple more like that, and he should get out of here, hopefully.
Line drive to right. Kwapnowski back, makes the catch for out number 2. The runner from third tags, that's Graham Hilton, and he brings it within a 1 run. Sac fly to right for Johnston on his scorecard, brings up the 9-hole hitter, Jet Hannaford.
Yeah, again, we're still pitching to contact here, and getting some outs, not giving up too many runs, obviously, but I know they're kind of reading Bob well so far. They're definitely putting some good barrels on it. They're not just kind of flukingly popping them over.
Diego back and moving around in the bullpen. Oh, that got him. Free base for the 9-hole hitter. Bob was an out away from getting out of the inning, but now he has to face the top of the order in Christian Loera. That's going to draw Scott out of the dugout, and he's going to make the motion down to the bullpen. I don't think they know who's supposed to come in. A lot of guys have been warming up. And it looks like it's going to be the Hudson Hart. Well, we'll introduce him when we come back. Actually, I think that's
BY.
That's BY. Brian
BY.
Young. All right, Brian Young comes into the ball game. And Aiden Brothers' night is done. Couple of runs in the 6th allowed by Bob. And the Hastings Sodbusters have brought it back within 1. 1 inning for Aiden Brothers. 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 strikeout. BY now into the ball game. We'll introduce him when we come back. It's 5-4, 2 down in the top of the 6th.
And even better, coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning, if the Sasquatch hit a grand slam, Diane from Utah is going home with $10,000, courtesy of the Lodge in Deadwood. Offering up those raffle prizes tonight. Modern Woodmen of America, together for our members. We believe in relationships, not sales. See what it's like to plan for life's most important goals as a member, not a number.
New pitcher for the Sasquatch is the 5'10 sophomore from Tampa, Florida, Brian Young. Attends Capital University alongside Sasquatch teammates Will Furry and Gio Mastarosa. comes in a bit of a jam with 2 on and 2 down. Aiden Brothers allowed a couple of runs, and the Sodbusters are back within 1. It's a 5-4 ball game. Brian Young this season has pitched 8 2/3, has a 3.23 ERA, a whip of 1.5, has struck out 7 and walked 6, an opponent batting average of 172, making his 8th appearance of the year. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses away. Now, Brian did pitch against Hastings when they were down there to open up the season. Through 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout, was handed the loss in that walk-off winner against the Sodbusters in the dirt ball 3.
Hey, Jay, I was just over there fixing the infield camera, talking to Gio for a minute. He does have some more games left, so he's not leaving today.
That's what I thought, but when everyone starts saying that it was his last day
Right.
too, I was like, hold on a minute. Not everybody can leave at once.
Yeah.
Already losing Tyler Russ and Peyton Fort. Taking all the way to strike.
Yeah, and those guys, they'll be big losses. Obviously, Gio's had some nice bombs from the batter's box as well. I think he's got 2 home runs in the year, one when his family was here, so pretty cool stuff for him. A good personality there.
Good friends with the guy on the mound right now, Brian Young. They grew up together playing club baseball in high school and then decided to go. Actually, I think they both committed separately and then all of a sudden realized they were going to school together too. And they've played baseball their whole careers. They've been battery mates for a long time. Full count, 2 down, line to right center. That'll drop in for a base hit. 1 run scores the go-aheads around third. The throw-in will be cut off. And it's a 2-run double for Christian Loera. And the Sodbusters have clawed all the way back and take a 6-5 lead.
Not exactly what BY wanted coming in. Starts out with 3-0, works his way back to 3-2, and then just kind of puts one in the perfect spot to take it to the opposite field right there. So nice job right there from the Busters. But, yeah, scoring 4 in the 6th inning. Only a couple left, putting the damper on the Squatch's run here.
Brings up Drew Vega upstairs for a ball. In the dirt.
Got a real quick release. It comes forward, kind of like a slingshot almost. He's normally been known to just kind of come in and throw some strikes, which obviously he did right there towards the end of that at-bat.
Yeah, very rarely does he go more than an inning. He's thrown 2 innings 3 different times. That's as far as he's gone. See how many he's asked to eat up in this one. Diego Trujillo, the only one warming up now in the bullpen. Here's another soft liner to right, but Quap is there for out number 3. The Sodbusters hang 4 in the top of the 6th on 3 base hits. 1 really hurt Christian Loera, a 2-run double, and the Sodbusters lead it. Another chance for the Squatch, trailing by 1.
Going higher, faster, farther, going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
New pitcher for the Sodbusters is the freshman from Aurora, Nebraska. Pitches at Metropolitan Community College. It's Chase Phillips, making his 9th appearance of the year. He's thrown 20 1/3 as a 3.54 ERA, has struck out 24 and walked 13 as a 1.23 whip. He'll lead off the 6th against Nick Work, who was 1 for 2 today with a single in the 4th. He struck out his first time up in the 2nd. The 0-1 to the third baseman, fouled straight back. Now joining me up in the booth is the intern, Cooper Smith.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Great to have you back up in the booth. You had a cup attached to your head a couple of innings ago and some kids trying to shoot it off. It didn't really look like they came very close.
No, those kids did not have the aim that we were looking for that game at all. But, you know, always a good time here, getting the fans involved and things like that with the on-field games. I think we all put in great work to.
This one's lifted to deep left, giving Chase his crane. He'll make the catch.
But I think all the interns, I think we all put in great work to get the field set up every day, have the games planned out ahead of time, and just do as much as we can to keep the fans involved.
Another great crowd at the ballpark. It started off a little slow, probably the heat holding people back, but with the sun going down, another great crowd here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Here's Lucas Torelli, the leadoff hitter.
The heat today was brutal, though.
Oh, 92 first pitch. I mean, come on. What are we doing? It's just brutal. 1-0 away. Torelli getting the day off from the glove. He is the designated hitter tonight. 0 for 3. A sac fly in the 4th. Excuse me, he's 0 for 2. A sac fly in the 4th, was hit by a pitch in the 1st, came in to score. And now way ahead in the count, 3-0.
Got to think he's taken all the way here, seeing 3 balls in a row.
Absolutely, especially now down by 1. The 4 errors really hurting the Squatch now late in the ball game. Takes all the way, and it works. Ball 4.
Yeah, it's been another sloppy one here today in the field for the boys. The one last inning was a huge killer with the ball going past Bob there at home.
Yeah, that one had him dead to rights in a pickle. But ultimately the throw from Michelson just gets by Bob off his glove and run scores, keeps the inning alive, and they tack on 3 more after that. Definitely hurts.
Never a good feeling giving up a crooked number in one single inning.
Especially to give up the lead. You had a pretty solid lead going into that inning, but they hang 4 and take the lead. When Michelson digs in, a couple of walks and a hit by pitch today. Big hack and a miss.
Trying to take the lead there with that swing.
Does have a home run on the year. It was at this ballpark.
He killed that baseball too, right over the scoreboard out there and left.
First home run of the season. 1-1. Breaking ball, cracked foul. And now he's behind 1-2.
You got to just be looking to get Kyle up here this inning with a man on base for sure. That's got to be the mindset going into this at bat. Anything but a 2-ball here is all right.
Chase Phillips looks in, delivers. It's in the dirt. Torelli thought about it, but scampers back to first. And Lucas has some speed. Has just 1 stolen base on the year, but when you watch him fly around the base paths, especially on his extra base hits, it's quite the sight.
I think we've been a little more cautious on the base paths today.
Strike 3 called at the plate. Owen Michelson goes down looking.
Saw it yesterday. Obviously, we had 2 games, so a bigger sample size, but I think we were a little more aggressive on the base pass yesterday. Could have a lot to do with the lineup here today. Bit of a more pop lineup than speed lineup here today for sure.
You got your bottom 3 guys for you in work that typically have the majority of the speed, but you're right, this middle of the lineup, and Michelson, Finn, Nelson, Kwapnowski. There's definitely some sneaky speed in there when you look at Seth Nelson. Sam Kwapnowski's got some pretty electric wheels. But for the most part, those are the guys that you expect to be your heavy thumpers in the middle of the lineup and hit the big one.
Yeah, I mean, we watched Seth Nelson run the Sasquatch 400 earlier in the year, and he was moving.
Had the first triple of the year for the Sasquatch down in Hastings. This one's lifted out to deep left center, giving chases. Hannaford in front of the warning track makes the catch to end the threat in the 6th. 6-5 Sodbusters as we hit the 7th inning in a 1-run ball game. Good chance for the Squatch, but ultimately cannot capitalize. Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium. And as we were mentioning beforehand, Diego's sister having a baby. And he is delivering the gender reveal. And if you look on his glove hand, there's a little bit of blue tape on there, which means it's a boy. Congratulations to Diego's sister for the baby boy coming up.
I mean, congratulations to him and his family. Big moment in their life, and what an electric way to do it, you know?
And he stopped me in the parking lot before the game, and he's like, hey, I've got something fun that I want to do today. And he said, I'm going to wrap my wrist in tape, and it's going to be whatever color my sister's kid is going to be. So make sure you shout her out on the broadcast. So shout out to Diego's sister having a baby boy. Congratulations to the Trujillo family.
Interesting with him coming out of the bullpen today. Usually a starter for us. Usually puts up about 4 or 5 innings. So we'll see how long they give him the leash for here today. It will be interesting to see how long they give him the leash for today, especially with it already being in the top of the 7th. So
see, maybe he can eat up at least 2 and maybe 3 if he's dealing it. He'll face the beer batter, Ryan Jarvis, to lead off the top of the 7th. Jarvis today is 0 for 3. He struck out his last time up in the 5th. Trujillo kicks and fires away for a ball 1. Now taking over the headset is part of the 3-headed backstop, Gio Messarosa.
How we doing? How we doing?
Doing good, Gio. First time on the headset this summer.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm just trying to have fun.
Heck yeah.
That's it.
You guys have been having fun these last few weeks.
Oh yeah.
A lot of wins. Back in the race for the top spot in the Independence League as Ryan Jarvis flies out to center. I mean, it's got to feel good. I mean, after going down to Hastings and dropping those first 3 games to come back and take a couple back from them.
No, yeah, it definitely started off with it all.
There you go.
It definitely started off with the move down in Fremont. Kind of like started us rolling into Hastings. And definitely getting all those wins in Hastings definitely helped a lot. I feel like with confidence and the way we've been in the dugout, definitely helped big time on how we're playing nowadays. I think that was very big.
And it's helped your bat, too. Now 2 home runs on the year. Your last one, your family was here in attendance. How was that?
It was pretty cool. It's the first one my parents has ever seen in it's the first one that my parents have ever seen in person since I started on my college career, because they've always seen it in online and stuff like that, but doesn't do justice when you see it in person, that's for sure.
Definitely looks a lot cooler to be able to see it pop off the back.
Yeah.
You hear it.
Yeah.
You always hear it first, and then you see it fly, and you're like, yeah, that baby's gone. Cross pops it up and out of play, 2-1. Now your buddy BY came out to pitch the back half of that 6th inning. And I asked him when he's been up here about what that friendship means to the 2 of you. You guys have been friends since high school, battery mates for a long time. What's it mean to you to have a guy like that come out for summer ball with you?
No, it's definitely big. You know, lifelong friendships, that's for sure. You know, just kind of keep it keep that friendship going, you know, especially like going to places like this. You always want somebody that you know, kind of like kickstart off the summer a little better, and then kind of glue on to more people after that. But yeah, it's awesome. Definitely awesome to have him as a friend.
Especially when summer ball, you're meeting a ton of new people.
Oh, yeah.
Right away before you play the first game. That first game, you're still trying to learn everybody's names, and you're already playing a game.
Yeah, especially when he's a pitcher too. Like you, learning new pitchers, like the way they pitch. Everybody's different. Everybody has like their own style of pitching, and especially when you know like how some people pitch already, definitely gives you that boost and into knowing and adjusting into the way these pitchers are pitching. That's for sure.
Now, you're the first catcher we've had come up here, so I've got to ask, how is it getting to know all these different pitchers and having to learn what they can do, what their strengths are? This one's grounded to right field for a base hit, but it can't be easy. Quap checks the runner at second, but not in time. Close play.
Wait, repeat that question again for me.
No, you're good. You're good. A lot just happened there.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's a lot of new pitchers that you have to learn, a lot of new tendencies and strengths and weaknesses. How do you balance it all as you're already playing games?
Well, also a big part of it was some practices before we did bullpens and stuff like that. That was the tough part, that's for sure. But learning, and you got to definitely pay attention to those bullpens. That's the closest thing you're ever going to get to a game, because that really translate onto the field. So, yeah, I think the bullpens definitely was a key part into learning how these pitchers pitch and the way their balls move and whatever.
Here's Jackson Crane with 2 on and 1 down. First pitch pops it straight up into the air. Michelson rips off his helmet, makes the catch for out number 2. Now those plays are tough to make behind the dish. You have the sun coming down right in front of your face if you have to flip the other way.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely tough. Definitely not easy.
Now, before Carson got here, you and Michelson had to split a lot of time behind the dish, which can't be easy when you have a lot of games in a row.
Right. No, yeah, definitely Carson coming in definitely helped with, legs not being as tight anymore.
Able to stretch out, have a day to stretch out, save the knees a little bit. Here is Weston Johnston, the freshman from Van Alstyne, Texas. Came in for Luke Causey in the 6th inning. Hit a sacrifice fly to right. And is ahead in the count 2-0. Diego with a gender reveal for his sister. Did you know about that coming in today?
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
On his glove hand.
Wrist? Oh,
yeah,
that's sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was it.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he was wearing that.
Yeah, his sister's having a baby boy.
Oh, awesome. Another baseball player.
Yeah, for real. Get another one out here in Spearfish, right?
Yeah, getting another one into this game. That's awesome.
Get another 2-way, right?
Hopefully. Maybe you can make him a lefty as a hitter, that's for sure. No matter what.
Got a lefty at the plate in Johnston. 2-1, here's the pitch. Misses low and in for ball 3. Now on those long trips, when you have a lot of games back to back to back and you're throwing on the gear every day, obviously it's great to have a couple other guys back there, but when you are the guy going back-to-back nights, how do you do it? Chopper to Fort. We'll get the answer here in a second as he throws him out for out number 3. I guess we'll have to leave the fans on the edge of their seat. We'll know all the secrets when we come back from Gio Masterosa.
Miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Visit the lodge located in Deadwood today. Leading off the bottom of the 7th.
6-5 Sodbusters, bottom of the 7th. Seth Nelson to lead off the Squatch. Sam Kwapnowski on deck, and Aaron Niels in the hole. Seth in his 3rd year with the Sasquatch. He'll face Chase Phillips, who's out for another inning of work. Seth's been quite the character to get to know.
Yeah.
And whenever we bring him up with the guys, they're always like, "Yeah, he's fun to get to know in the dugout. Always a loud voice." But what's it been like on your end? Because I know you and him have gotten to know each other quite a bit. What's been that friendship like between you and Nelson?
Oh, it's awesome. He's a character himself. You know, he always comes to the field with a smile on his face. Always does some jokes and stuff. And it's awesome getting to know him for sure. Sweet guy. Always brings some energy to the dugout as well. You know, all around. He's always joking around too, which also is like part about summer ball. You joke around, you have fun, but you also get your work in at the same time. So being around him and off the field, it's been great. He's a character himself for sure.
Here's the 2-2. Now I've heard that, well, I know that he runs the batting practice music as well. Are you a big fan of it?
Yes. So it's been kind of mixed up here and there. I'll play the Hispanic songs, which I always love. The guys always love his house music, that's for sure.
Big house music guy?
Yeah. Love it. Hypes us all up. We're like frat boys at the when we're warming up. It's awesome.
Dance around in batting practice?
Oh yeah, it's always awesome. Just hanging around. It's 90-something degrees here.
Oh, just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Was it 92 at the first pitch?
Something like that. It's hot. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
It's supposed to cool off to the high 70s by the end of the game, but honestly, it feels like it's getting a little bit cooler than that.
Yeah.
Sun going down.
Back to that question. What was that question you asked me before this inning that we left the fans on the hanging?
Dude, whenever we go to break, I always have like
no.
a massive brain fart. Hold on. Let me rack. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes, I've got it. So on days where you are catching back-to-back and you don't have that day of rest, what do you do to stay prepared and loose behind the dish?
Stretching after games is a big thing, that's for sure. Just keep staying loose. Somehow on the bus, try and keep getting stretched in, you know, because stretching is a big thing. Get those muscle fibers still going, not letting them stay tight. Stay hydrated. That's another big thing too.
2-2 on Kwapnowski. Do you have a specific pregame meal that you try and digest before the game?
Not a specific pregame meal, but I have a specific pre-at-bat ritual, that's for sure.
What is that?
Well, funny thing. So I like to, when I'm in the hole, I usually grab like half a cup of water from those little Gatorade things, and I just pour it all over my head. Wakes me up. So I'm just in there locked in, and then once I'm in the on deck, I just try and stay prepared on when to load on a pitcher, especially when they're all different. Make sure you're prepared on being on time on pitchers. That's a big thing.
Now, when did you start that ritual of dousing yourself in half a cup of water?
After this past season at school ball, it worked out well for me, so I'm gonna keep it going as long as he keeps working well.
Popped up, shortstop. Loera makes the catch. Nelson had taken off for second, but he had to hustle back. Have any of the guys question you, or are they just?
No, at first they were like laughing at me. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But once they noticed it, I kept doing it as my ritual or whatever. They kind of stopped telling me anything. They were like, they kind of hype me up when I'm doing it, if anything.
Yeah.
And then I remember I forgot who it was, but somebody did it with me, and they got a hit also. So it was pretty cool seeing that back to back. He was like, "I'm gonna do it too. It's been working for you. Might as well do it for me as well." And then forgot what game that was. But it was awesome.
Starting a new ritual in the dugout for all the guys.
Hopefully it keeps working too for them.
Yeah. Here's Peyton Fort. Whatever he's been doing, it's been working.
Oh, yeah.
Crack to center. Going back is Hannaford, but it's only a few steps. He makes the catch for out number 3. Seth Nelson gets aboard, but the Squatch can't bring him around. It's 6-5, top of the 8th when we come back.
When's he due up? We got 8-9-1, so he's due up 4 if there's I think if
It'll look good.
Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium. Gio Masterosa always looking good in the threads. A 6-5 ball game, but Gio, a new pitcher on the mound for the Sasquatch. It's Hudson Hart, and you've caught him a few times. Mm-hmm. What does he have to offer for the Spearfish Club?
Well, obviously being from Oral Roberts, D1, he's fastball heavy, that's for sure. He throws. When I talk to him, I haven't really been looking at the pitch speed, but from what it looks like, he throws like low to mid 90s. Good changeup and slider. Stock righty, but obviously throws a lot harder than your regular righty.
Yeah. Throwing low to mid 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Holy. Yeah, I'd say that's humming in there pretty good. Leading things off for the Sodbusters should be Jet Hannaford. Oh, no, excuse me. It is Weston Johnston. I thought he grounded out. Okay, gotcha. It is Weston Johnston.
number 26. I must have gotten mixed up in my scorebook then. Hopefully I wasn't a whole batter off the entire last inning. Slow roller to second. Fort picks it up. The throw to first is in time. Well, that's what I had him down for in the book anyway, was a ground out to Fort, so I guess that works.
Yeah.
Here's Jet Hannaford.
What's his stats been?
Huh?
Oh,
yeah.
Stats.
Those might not be the most updated if he, because I think he pitched earlier this week.
Yeah.
So looking at his stats, the 6'3" junior from Omaha, Nebraska, making his 7th appearance of the year. He's thrown 13 as a 1.08 ERA, 20 strikeouts to just 2 walks. Consistent and around the zone.
Not much during actual season.
Ahead in the count, 0-2. There's the fastball, rung him up for strike 3.
Yeah, I love when he's pitching. It's always electric. Seeing nobody on the bases, especially when he's been pitching lately. It's awesome. Always awesome seeing him and come in dice for us. Glad he's on our side of the of the diamond, that's for sure.
Yes. I mean, he only made 3 appearances this last spring as a junior. Threw an inning and a third, slow roller to Fort. The throw to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Hudson Hart. What did he throw? 7 pitches?
If any.
Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium in beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota. Sasquatch trailing by 1. Ben Foyer to lead things off right back up the middle and a base hit. Chase Phillips had to go matrix mode to get out of the way of that one. And exactly what the Sasquatch needed, a leadoff single. Here's Nick Work. 1 for 3 today is Work. He singled in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd, flew out in the 6th. 6-5 ball game. The tying run is on first. The go-ahead is at the plate. A beautiful backdrop here at Black Hills Energy Stadium as the sun sets. A few clouds behind the rolling Hill Mountains.
Hill Mountains.
The Black Hill Mountains.
The Black Hill Mountains.
Yeah, as we dubbed last night. That's going to draw a spinner out of the dugout to talk things over with Phillips, who's been pitching well tonight since he took over for Austin Raines. He's thrown 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, walked 2, but has struck out 2.
And for any folks at home watching and listening, apologies for the technical difficulties or errors. There must be some connectional issue, but we're hopefully back up and running here. There was a couple of quick pauses here, one a second ago and then one at the end of that, one at the end of the top of the 8th inning. So hopefully we're all good, but thank you guys for all tuning in. AJ, yeah, it's a beautiful night here.
It
in
is.
Spearfish, South Dakota. So we got a 5-day break coming up. That'll be nice for some of the players to kind of finally get some rest. Of course, Hastings will not be so lucky to get that rest, but Spearfish, I know you got a lot of players traveling home, and you're going to be hanging out, making some more dough, putting some more cash in the pocket.
Trying to. Got to pay rent somehow. Here's Nick Work with a runner on first and nobody out. Squares the bunt, puts it down up the third baseline. Charging, throwing in time is Brock Cross for out number 1, but Work does his job.
That'll work.
Back to the leadoff hitter in Lucas Torelli.
Playing some Hastings ball today. We're doing a little bit of the small ball bunting, so see if we can get another runner over. Obviously, we're trying to get that 1 run back, 4 runs back that we technically lost in the 6th inning. A very big inning for Hastings then.
And that's why they're leading by 1. 7 hits, 5 runs to show for it for Spearfish. 7 hits, 6 runs to show for Hastings. The biggest crooked number, though, is the 4 errors by the Sasquatch.
That seems to be a pretty common theme, honestly, is the fielding. It really is. I think that's the reason why they keep digging themselves into a hole sometimes.
Torelli takes upstairs. It's 2-0.
Got to give a shout out to Gio coming on the microphone. Really fun guy. Had some nice laughs, him and AJ right here, and he's just a pleasure to have on the microphone for the first time.
Yeah, he's been a great guy to get to know this summer. And
He was one of the first guys when I took that trip down to Hastings that really connected. We really connected when we had that bus ride and hung out with him in the bullpen a lot during the games. Really, really fun guy to get to know.
Good.
It looks like Hastings is going to intentionally walk Torelli. And Carson Rather is going to pinch hit for Owen Michelson.
Sure.
So that puts the double play in order with runners on first and second. And one down. Owen Michelson is back in the dugout. Rather comes in.
Rather had some nice opposite field pokes yesterday over the shortstop's head. We'll see if he can do that again. Got a powerful swing. He's not the tallest of guys.
Definitely has a violent swing. Really good behind the dish since he's gotten to Spearfish. The 5'9" freshman from Goodrich, Michigan, attends Miami University of Ohio. Hitting .200 this summer. 7 walks, 6 runs, 2 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases on the year. Behind 0-1 to Chase Phillips. Breaking ball, tapped foul, and quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, that one from Phillips had some nice movement on it right there. Tough for him to see that and stay back on it.
Kyle Finn on deck. The league leader in home runs, slugging, OPS. Would love to see him getting that bat this inning. Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout by Chase Phillips. Carson Rather in his lone at-bat of the night, unless we get back to him in the 9th. He goes down swinging.
Yeah, the DH is for not. Obviously, Carson, a great bat normally. Kyle Finn coming to the plate to hopefully put the Squatch over. I thought for a minute he balked. That's why I thought he was walking over there, but I guess he must be talking to Gonzo for a minute.
Is Ben going to come out of the game here? Now Gonzo and Foy are going to come all the way back to the dugout and wondering, it looks like they're just going to call time. Maybe Ben saw something. No, okay.
He's saying his left leg.
Yep, something wrong with his left leg. That's not good. Especially in a big situation, if he can't run 100%, definitely need someone who can. See who Scott is asking for to run for Foyer, and yeah, he's got a slight limp, and he's going to come out of the ball game.
You're hoping it's just a cramp or something that he tweaked minorly. I think Mooser might look like he was running over to grab something.
Or are they going to try and... Now Ben has got the entire dugout around him, and he's saying something, but yeah, it looks like Mooser's going to come out and pinch run for Foyer.
Get the legs moving. Mooser probably hasn't done too much running around today, knowing he wasn't going to be in the game.
And that's really unfortunate for Ben, who led off the inning with a single, but something must have happened, and his left leg he's in a lot of pain, so he takes himself out of the game. Ethan Mooser takes over at second as the pinch runner. Here's Kyle Finn with 2 on and 2 down, tying run in scoring position. The go-ahead is at first in Torelli. Five home runs on the year for Finn. First pitch, away. Kyle, a 6'7" sophomore from Coronado, California, attends Saracoso. Well, just finished up his another year at Saracoso, is now headed to Georgia Gwinnett with Peyton Fort. Hack and a miss, it's 1-1. Has a .400 batting average, a .483 on base, and a .1263 OPS. And yes, he's had a lot of at-bats. It's not just because he's had 1 or 2. The 1-1 upstairs. 15 runs, 18 RBIs, and he's hitting .400 with runners in scoring position. Needs to come through here. Breaking ball. Did he go around? Yes, he did in the Spearfish dugout. Can't believe it. Gonzo is barking from the third base coach's box. And that did not look like he went around from up here. We don't have the best angle, but Nobody agreed with that call.
Yeah, the replay doesn't show he went over the plate either.
2-2, way outside. Full count, 2 down in a 1-run ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Runners will be off on the pitch. The tying run is at second. Ethan Mooser taking over for Ben Foyer. Game on the line, the 3-2. Inside ball 4. Huge at bat by Kyle Finn.
Ball don't lie, AJ.
Ball don't lie.
Bases loaded right here for Seth Nelson.
Seth has struggled today. He grounded into a double play in the first. He's popped out, flown out, but walked his last time up. Tying run 90 feet away. Seth has been underneath it all night. Right now, he just needs to poke it somewhere or get on any way possible. Taking all the way for a ball.
Yeah, you mentioned it multiple times. He's not about numbers this season. At least that's what he says. He wants to be a role model. Of course, his numbers have not been the most impressive, but regardless, he's still a guy who they probably look up to a little bit.
Fouled straight back. Mooser on third, Torelli on second, and Kyle Finn on first. Sam Kwapnowski is on deck if we get there. Nelson trying to be the hero in the bottom of the 8th. Long pause from Phillips. Now he comes set. Breaking ball way upstairs.
Seth needs to be careful here. Obviously, you got 2 outs. So you can swing away. But again, AJ, as you mentioned it, he's been under it not only tonight, but honestly most of the entire season, trying to swing for the fences right here. You poke one out over any one of the infielders and you draw on a run. Hopefully tie this ball game, so not try to do too much.
Fouls it off. 2-2. Of course, with 2 strikes, you have to protect, but don't want to go down on a pitch in the dirt. Big pitch. 2-2, 2 down, bases loaded in a 1-run ball game. The pitch popped up in the infield. Loera calling for it, makes the catch. Chase Phillips leaves him loaded, and the Squatch trail by 1 with 1 inning to go. Jackson Peters, the Grim Reaper, trying to keep it that way and give his team a chance in the bottom of the 9th.
A
lot of defensive changes. Ben Foyer came out after he had a leadoff single and felt something in his left leg when he got to second. So Mooser came in to run for him, but does not stay in the game. But since Foyer's out, Isaac Martinez comes into play second. Nick Work moves over to short, and Peyton Fort moves from second to third. The Grim Reaper back out on the mound. He has been untouchable this season. The 6'5" redshirt senior from Plano, Texas, has thrown 13 innings, has a perfect ERA, 25 strikeouts to 5 walks. He'll have the ninth again. First pitch is inside and finds the backstop. Leading things off is Jaden Shabry.
And I'll tell you, when you're the opposing team up 1 and you want some insurance runs, you might want to take a pitcher here on the shoulder, but Jackson Peters, that one's not going to feel too good. So get out of the way right there.
There's a strike on the inner half of the plate. Yeah, his fastball's electric. His mechanics look all over the place, but they're in tune. Again, just 5 walks on the year, looking to keep that number right where it is and get through this inning quick. Fires back with a strike. It's 1-2. And his fastball, we've talked about it, just has so much movement. It's more like a sinker, like we've talked about.
It is.
Has a lot of horizontal break and vertical break for that matter. 1-2. Soft grounder up the middle. Work bobbles it and kicks it into center field. Runner taking off for second. The throw from Niels is in time to get him. Great recovery from Aaron Niels in center. Jaden Shabry trying to do a little bit too much. And the Sodbusters blow a massive chance. And what is the coach talking about? Josh Printer from third base is barking at the field umpire as to, well, I guess I don't really know what he would be asking him. Looked pretty clear that Shabry got thrown out at second after the single.
Throw definitely got there around the same time or beat him by half a step. So unless he disagrees that the tag was applied properly, which is probably his argument right there.
Here's Ryan Jarvis. After the leadoff single, and Aaron Niels cleans up the error from Nick Work. 5th error on the night by the Sasquatch, but luckily that one doesn't hurt. Strike called on the inner half of the plate on Jarvis. The 0-1. Call the strike.
No complaints from us. Umpire definitely getting a bit more generous with his strike zone. That first one was low and in. That next one was pretty high and in, but I'm sure JP is not throwing any arguments.
Popped up shallow center, drops in for a hit, and it's a 1-out single.
Need all the help you can get this inning to limit runs coming in for Hastings. You give up 0, you're still down 1. A pretty favorable next 3 coming up for Spearfish. Of course, you would have loved to grab one in that last inning with bases loaded.
Here's Brock Cross with a runner on and 1 down. First pitch from Peters is upstairs. Hastings trying to build upon their lead and make it tough for the Squatch to make a comeback. They'll have 5, 6, 7 due up. Sam Kwapnowski, Aaron Niels, and Peyton Fort when they come back. But Peters has to hold on here and keep it a 1-run ball game. And we've talked about with this offense, it always feels like there's just one inning where they just pile on all their runs and they bury the opponent. Haven't really had that yet. 2 in the first inning, 2 runs in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th.
Hastings kind of had that inning in the 6th.
They did, 4 runs. Ground ball right side and through for a base hit. Back-to-back singles. Puts runners on first and second.
Hastings starting to kind of understand how Jackson Peters pitches here, just trying to put bat to ball. Again, fast in, fast out right here. You can put it on the ground between that first and second gap. Nice job right there by the Sodbusters.
This is the second time they've seen Peters. First time was last night. He went an inning and a third and struck out 4 of the 5 batters he saw. Looking for a rollover here, right?
That's the goal. Get yourself a double play, some momentum going into the bottom of the ninth because you're certainly going to need it. You need at least 1 run to tie it up, and you'd prefer a walk-off here to win the series versus the Busters.
Cooper Harold, a pinch hit for Graham Hilton. Watch out, that's up and in on the hands.
That's not one that's very fun to see come in close to you. It's about 90 miles per hour coming at your face.
Yeah, no, he's got some serious heat on that fastball, and especially when you don't know where to look because of his delivery. That thing comes in a bit quicker. Also inside, but missing again, 2-0.
Intern squad carrying some Jersey Mikes over somewhere. I wish they'd throw 1 or 2 up here.
Yeah, that's for the Hastings Sodbusters. Once this game is over, they've got their post-game dinner in a box. The 2-0 from Peters. Call the strike at the knees. Harold didn't like that call. I will say, when we were down in Hastings, treated us very well. Had a couple of condos that we all were able to squeeze into. Great food after the games. Big thank you to Hastings for their hospitality for that first home series. 2-1 from Peters. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
He's just way behind that one. I think he was hesitant, maybe going to try to take that one and put himself into a hitter's 3-1 count, but yeah, he was just late on that one.
I mean, Jackson's primary pitch is, of course, that fastball, but has a slider splitter that he mixes in as well. Might have been in front of one of those. Even count, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for the Grim Reaper.
Oh, AJ, I was watching one of the College World Series games the other day, and they talked about something that pretty directly correlates to the way Jackson Peters pitches. When you have a pitcher who primarily throws a fastball pretty darn fast, and it's a sinking fastball, the ball at the knees is one of the hardest to hit because you think it's going to be a ball anyways, but it drops right in there for a lower corner strike.
He
just
throws
like that.
It there. Yep. Right at the knees for strike 1.
And so one of the hard things about that is you try to force a pitcher to move it upstairs, but how do you do that? You have to take those balls to the knees, and you got to kind of have to hope the umpire's going to give you those. Right now, of course, the umpire's using those, and Jackson Peters loving it.
0-1 on Jackson Crane. He had an RBI double in the second, reached on an error in the 6th, came in to score. He is 1 for 4 on the night, despite being on base twice. Everyone on the top step in the Spearfish dugout. Tapper, left side, Fort charges, picks it up on the hop. The throw to first is high. Nelson picks it up and tags him out. And they leave him stranded. Jackson Peters keeps them scoreless in the 9th. And it's up to the offense now if they want to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. Last game before the break. Can the Sasquatch go off into the sunset with some fireworks? 6-5 when we come back.
5, 6, 7, 2 up for the Sasquatch. It's Sam Kwapnoski, Aaron Niels, and Peyton Fort. Down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Trying to tie the Sodbusters for first place in the Independence League. They split the doubleheader last night, so no chance for Spearfish to take the outright lead. Here's a swing and a drive, deep to right field. It is gone! Tie game! Sam Kwapnoski has done it! First pitch blast. We are tied. New life injected in Black Hills Energy Stadium, and the mountains are rocking in Spearfish. First pitch. He's been looking for it all summer. Niels pops it up right side. Jarvis gives it a look, and it will get out of play. He has been so hungry for a home run at home, and he finally got one. And in the biggest moment of the season, can the Sasquatch capitalize and walk it off? Ground ball left side, bobbled by Cross. The throw to first, not in time. Niels beats it out. Traction in the 9th. The Sasquatch won't go down quietly. And the hottest hitter in the Independence League in his final game in a Sasquatch uniform, it's Peyton Fort.
Quick preface, the infield camera got a bit messed up because the one Busters outfielder jumped up on the fence, so we're going to try our best with that angle, but we won't fix it because we got to stay here in the press box. This is an exciting 9th inning so far.
First pitch to Fort is away. He has been so integral to why the Sasquatch have a chance to take first place tonight. He was cold to start the season, but has a chance to be a hero in his final game. Lifts it out to center. Hannaford back makes the catch for out number one. Good swing by Fort, but can't quite get enough of it. That'll bring up Isaac Martinez, who is in for Ben Foyer defensively. He got hurt last week against Oahe. Was actually almost knocked out. This one's popped up to left. Jackson Crane toward the line, giving chase. Goes down to a knee, and it drops for a base hit. Back-to-back errors. 2 errors in this inning by Hastings. And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position.
That is a crucial mistake for Hastings right there. That would have put it at 2 outs with a runner on first, a pretty safe spot to feel, barring any home run. But now runners on first and second, AJ, only a singular out.
Wow. 2 errors in this inning by Hastings after the solo bomb from Sam Kwapnoski.
Oh, what a swing. He wanted it. He wanted it for weeks now, AJ.
And that swing could very well be the catalyst to potentially tying the Sodbusters for first place. Again, they can't take first place outright tonight, but with a walk-off winner, it could tie them for first. And then it's all up to the Sasquatch to try and win the final 3 games of the first half. The Sodbusters have a lot more games than Spearfish, so we'll be closely watching. Long meeting on the mound. And Justice Scott's going to talk things over with the umpire. Nick Work will be at the plate once this meeting is over. Now the home plate umpire is going to go and break it up. And we are ready to go. First and second, 1 down, go-ahead run is on second. Nick Work, he's 1 for 4 today.
a single in the fourth, a strikeout, a flyout, and a ground out. Big gap in right center with Jet Hannaford shading towards left and Luke Kazi playing his normal position in right. First pitch to work, taking all the way. It's called a strike at the knees. The Sasquatch dugout doesn't like it. Corners in for the Sodbusters, trying to gun down a play at the plate if Nick Work is able to get a base hit. If Nick can poke one to the right side, it could win it. The 0-1. Pops it up, shallow center. The shortstop, Loera, out there, makes the catch for out number 2. Lucas Torelli, the leadoff hitter at the top of the order, trying to walk it off in the ninth and not give the Sodbusters a chance.
What an opportunity for Luke right here. Man, Sam starts the inning out with a bang there. First home run, he wanted it for so long, and now Torelli in position to be a hero here in Spearfish.
He's in the transfer portal right now. Talk about adding a highlight to your transfer portal transfer portal resume.
Yeah.
Trying to go Division I in the fall. Has been fielding a lot of calls, but still has not made a decision. This could help some schools make some decisions. The 0-1 inside. Good stop from Hilton behind the dish.
That's another thing right here. A pass ball gives you an easy opportunity, even for like a little blooper, but obviously you kind of need one of those gappers here to get a run home for Torelli.
Again, a big gap in right center if he's able to poke one over the second baseman's head.
Absolutely.
1-1. Phillips delivers. Breaking ball misses low.
It's another good take right there. Again, anytime you're in this position, your hands are a little bit sweaty or you're just trying to hold off on the ones that aren't your pitch and wait for the one that is. 2-1, not a bad count here for Torelli.
Heart rate goes up. Hands are clammy. Front foot might be a little bit faster than normal. 2-1. Line drive. Center field. Base hit. Runner from second around third. Neal's coming home. The play at the plate. Not in time. Game winner. Lucas Torelli walks it off. Start the party, Spearfish. The Sasquatch are in first place. It's a mob in center field. Lucas Torelli, a hero in Spearfish. The Mountains never stopped rocking, and they'll be playing all night long.
What a game. What a game, AJ.
Lucas Torelli with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth after the Sam Kwapnoski home run to tie it. He comes through, and the Sasquatch have tied the Sodbusters for first place in the Independence League. They haven't won the first half in a long, long time. And they have a chance in the final week of the season to punch their ticket to the playoffs after being 1 game short a year ago.
Wow. Gatorade bucket got dumped, as it should.
What a way to head into the break.
AJ, not an easy comeback right there. They give up 4 to the Busters in the 6th inning, kind of an inning that Spearfish normally has, but it goes to Hastings today. They come into the final inning down by 2 runs, and first pitch, Sam Kwapnoski wanted it, got it, home run over the right center field fence, right over the real estate face out there we hung up just a couple of weeks ago. Great, great home run for him, and Torelli, the player of the game, as he should be.
No doubter there. Lucas Torelli. He was the first run of the ball game after he was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Sampson now joining us up in the press box for the game winner. What a night for the Sasquatch. They've tied the Sodbusters for first place. Sampson in 92-degree heat, keeping the fans engaged all night long. And 7-6 the final. This will be a fun post-game interview with whoever decides to come up, whether it's Bachman, Gonzalez, Octavio, and yeah, we're eating W's tonight. They win the series at home against the Sodbusters. And, boy, again, what a way to go into the 5-day break.
Yeah.
We'll be back at it next week for a 3-game series against the Nebraska Prospects to wrap up the first half of the season. But, boy, 9th inning, down by 1, first pitch. Kwapnowski drills his first home run in front of the home crowd over the right field fence. And then those 2 errors by Hastings.
Yeah.
Costly. Very
Huge.
costly. First one was booted by Cross at third, and then Jackson Crane couldn't come up with the fly ball down the left field line. And then Lucas Torelli with 2 outs, able to crack a single to center. And it's a game winner. What a way to pick up the Sasquatch's 15th win of the year. They now improved to 15-8 on the year. The Sodbusters dropped to 14-7. Oh, boy, this is going to be a fun post-game interview. Don't go anywhere. We will have one of the coaches come up here and recap it all when we come back. 7-6 the final. Walk-off winner, Lucas Torelli, the hero tonight. Ryan Bachman now joins me up in the box. Bach, what a way to go into the break. 5 days off, but an electric comeback winner of the ninth. Quap has the big home run on the first pitch in the bottom of the ninth. Yeah, setting the tone, and Torelli comes through. I mean, what were the feelings when you saw Torelli's base hit drop?
Man, it was pretty cool. I've never done something kind of like cool like this before, not to take it off of Torelli, but the reporter down there was like, guys, you got to do something cool here. I want to write a cool story about this. And I was like, I think you're going to get your story right now. And it was bang, single. So I was like,
you called it, Bob.
I was like,
you called it.
Man, but what just a great swing. I mean, just the guy has been, I wouldn't say battling because he's already, I mean, the numbers don't lie. He's on a good year. But, like, he knows how good he is. And I think just for him to come through that, and big-time moment, big-time players, big-time plays. You know,
exactly.
He's a kid that is never – up and down, just level-headed, doesn't let anything rattle him. Man, he's just a heck of a player.
You've had a couple of games this year where things aren't going right at parts in the game.
Yeah.
But the guys still are able to rally, come back, get a win. The 9-8 win down in Hastings is one that sticks out in my brain. You have the 5 errors today, but you still are able to come back, keep level heads, and get the win in a walk-off fashion.
Yeah.
What is the conversation in the dugout when those things aren't going your way, balls are getting booted? What's the conversation to keep the guys level-headed in the game?
Well, it's just making them trust themselves again and knowing, like, you don't gotta be perfect. You don't gotta be anything more than they are, because they're great players. And if they can remember to just be good and be them, we're gonna win a lot of games. Yeah. It's when you start pressing, you try and do a little more. I mean, I just told Quap at the end there, I was like, dude, take a breath and just nothing more than who you are, and that's who he is.
Yep.
Big time pump, and I don't got much words, man. It's fun to see a team do that, and especially a group of guys as deserving as this. So
Tyler Russ and Peyton Fort, they're gone after today. They've been so integral to this first half. But what does it feel like to get a win like this in their final day here in Spearfish?
Oh, it's huge. Those guys have done so much, and I talked about Tyler the other night, just how his impact is going to be felt a little longer than just his time here, his 3 weeks here. But same with Fort, just an infectious presence. He's always wearing a smile. I don't think I've ever seen him when he comes back from getting out. And, I mean, a lot of the times they're line out, so it's kind of hard to be sad about that. But he's always smiling, and, like, that's the type of guys that you just absolutely love to have around because, again, they're not riding that emotional roller coaster. They're enjoying what they're doing. And that's the hardest thing about this game is finding ways to, through the thick and the thin, through the good and bad, enjoying and feeling gratitude for what you're doing. And those are two guys that are the epitome of that. And I'm going to miss them. I know all the teammates are going to miss them, all the guys. And we're going to miss their presence in the lineup, too, because they're big-time guys. But I also am so excited to see what some of these other guys are able to do and step up. And, it's just a special group. Special group.
It absolutely has been. But when you look at the standings, for the first time since you've been here, the Sasquatch are in first place in the first half of the season. Yeah. Obviously still a week left to go. Mm-hmm. But to have this feeling that, yes, we have a chance to punch our ticket to the playoffs in the first half rather than trying to rally back in the second half. What does that mean for you who's been here now in your 5th year?
Man, I wish we could have done it when I was here. It makes the second half a little less stressful. But, no, it's just a cool opportunity, right? Because I know we talked about the other night. It's an opportunity to have guys go out and work on things and prepare and get better. And we can play it a little different as coaches, too, because we understand that we're already where we want to be. Mm-hmm. So just continually trying to use it as a building opportunity is the biggest thing. So, man, I'm excited for where we're at. We control our own destiny. Go get the job done, handle ourselves in the way that we know we can against the prospects, and it's going to be a fun time. So that's a big series. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be huge. But you've got a 5-day break in between. I know you said you want to celebrate your birthday since we had a couple of games. Yeah, your birthday was yesterday, but we've had some games. Any big plans for this 5-day break?
Not really. I think I'm going to try to get a few of the guys to come down to Rapid on Monday and go to Hibachi because that place is gas.
Really?
You're welcome to come, too, if you want.
Dude,
but
I mean, I might have to hit you up.
No, it's just trying to spend time together. I'm excited to see my fiance a little bit. She's been a trooper with how busy we've been and, go see her a little bit. But, no, this break is needed, especially a lot of times 5 days in baseball is a long time, and you get a little worried about that. But this is something that propels you through that. And, so I'm really excited to see how hot we come out on whatever day it is, Wednesday. And
I don't even know. I haven't looked that far ahead yet.
Get after it and have a good day. So.
Awesome. Well, 7-6 game winner, walk-off winner, great way to run off into the sunset for this 5-day break. Can't thank you enough for coming up here, Bach. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the 5-day break. And we'll see you next week when we host the Prospects. Awesome. Thanks, Bach. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap it all up when we come back. 7-6 walk-off winner. We'll wrap it up right after this.
This place has been rocking ever since the Squatch have returned home from their long break, and there's been no bigger party than the one tonight. Peyton Fort's going to come up. Sam Kwapnoski might come up as well. He had the big home run. We might have a party up here in the press box here in a moment. I think there's going to be a bunch of guys going. Here comes Peyton Fort. Fort, what a win.
What a win.
I mean, just there's no better way to go off into the sunset on this 5-day break other than a walk-off winner. I mean, you couldn't have drawn up the script. The first series of the year, you guys went down to Hastings and got swept. You come back, you're battling for first place, and a walk-off winner, the guys come through. And it's your last game here in Spearfish.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you to go off like this?
I mean, it's so special, so special. I mean, coming into the day, I was like, dang, this is my last day here, and I've had probably the most fun I've ever had in my life out here. All these guys, they're so special, and this coaching staff and all you interns, man, it's just so fun out here. And coming into the game, I was just kind of taking it in. I remember before the game, just kind of looking around, taking it in for one last time. And that walk-off right there by Luke, man, that was so awesome. I mean, the last 2 innings, we were just having scrappy at-bats, just trying to barrel balls and, have good approaches, and then just coming through right there, it meant the world, man. It was so awesome.
I mean, you've had one of the hottest bats in the Independence League these last few weeks. Coming in over your last 11 games, you were hitting over 500. You end your career here in Spearfish hitting probably over 360, probably close to 370. I mean, what changed to get your bat going, and what does that mean to you as you ride off into the sunset on just such a tear?
I mean, it's a good feeling and a horrible feeling at the same time, knowing that I have to go back home. But no, I mean, at the start, it was pretty rough, and just had to make some adjustments as a hitter, and hitting is not just a straight line going up, it's up and down, and I just kind of figured it out a little bit. It was just my approach and swing a little bit. I was, coming off a pretty good spring, just trying to grip and rip out there, and then I had to settle down a little bit and get back to my approach. And yeah, man, baseball is just all about making adjustments, and that's what I did. And once I kind of caught fire, I just tried to run with it, and just absolute blast. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it's such a short time that you're out here for the summer, and the first couple of games, you just learn everybody's names.
Yeah.
But how close have you been with this guy just in this first month?
I mean, I can't even put it into words, honestly. I can't even put it into words. It kind of feels like, that last little huddle there, it felt like I was leaving my brothers. And I was like, dang, man, it's a lot of guilt for sure. It's tough, and it's not easy. And especially, in summer ball is just about having fun, and in my opinion, and getting more at-bats and everything like that. And then, the way that our group just clicked, we just had that. And they still do, I mean,
yeah.
Everybody just has that little fire, that little click, and we all just click together. And man, memories are amazing, so awesome. So,
yeah, these are the nights you won't forget for a long, long time.
Not at all, not at all. No, it's been amazing.
Well, you've got you're coming up here. You hit the transfer portal. You go into Georgia Gwinnett with Cal Finn.
Yep.
So what should we expect from you going forward?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Hitting close to 400.
Same thing. Yeah. Just sticking to me, sticking to my approach, and hopefully we get the same results. Same thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck.
There's
luck
the man
moving
Quap
forward.
right here.
Yeah,
Look at this guy.
Quap's going to hop on, but can't thank you enough for this summer, Peyton.
Hey, thank you very much, AJ.
Yes, thank
it's been
you.
a pleasure.
It has been. Here's Sam Kwapnoski.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. It's been a fun day at the ballpark. Sam, after every single game here at home, you come up to me and say, AJ, I'm trying to get one for you. I'm trying to get one for you. You finally get it in a spot. And it's probably one of the biggest spots of the season for this team.
Mm-hmm.
And on the first pitch you see, you hit it about a mile.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking for anything that was over the heart of the plate, and you left it over heart of the plate, and I just put a good swing on it, stayed behind it, and wasn't trying to hit a home run. So normally what happens when you don't try, it goes pretty far. But no, it was a great game, great team win. Pitching staff kept us close so we could have that opportunity to do that. So, yeah, it was awesome.
We could see the emotion as you were rounding second, hyping up the guys. We know how much it has meant to you, just me and Aiden up here talking with you, getting to know you. But when you finally saw it go out and you hit second base and just let it out, what was that like?
I mean, it was just awesome, just giving us an opportunity to win that ball game, just because we've been fighting every single day for the last
with this team the last 4 games, and came down to the final 3 outs, and we came on top, and it was just awesome.
You go off in probably the coolest fashion you can going into this 5-day break.
Yeah.
What was the celebration like down there? Obviously, we caught it on camera, but when you're down there dumping the Gatorade on Lucas, and I'm sure you're getting a piece of it as well. I mean, you're drenched.
I'm soaked.
I mean, what's that feeling like being down there and celebrating with your brothers?
I mean, it's just awesome because it was just a hard-fought game, and there's a lot of plays that didn't go our way, and then at the end of the game, we come out on top, and it was just awesome to celebrate with the fellas and make some of the guys that are leaving now, like Peyton Fort and Russ, just to go off with a win with them. It's just awesome. It's just awesome.
I know Bach whispered a couple of quick words before you hopped in the box. He said, just stay within yourself. Just be yourself. Don't try to do anything more. What did those words go through your head when you stepped up to the plate? What did those words mean?
Not going to lie, went in one ear and out the other.
Sometimes that's how it goes in these clutch moments.
I was just like, all right, just go up there and look for a pitch to drive. And, yeah, I mean, I really, I don't know, I wasn't hunting a certain pitch. I was just like something that's able to drive. And he gave me a pitch to drive, and the rest is history.
Like Fort, you were down there in Hastings for that first series. How does it feel to come back and get 3 against them after that series down there?
Feels good, just because we didn't have everyone down there in Hastings, and now we have everyone, and we have our pitching staff is really good. I mean, our defense is really good. Our bats are really hot right now. It's just awesome. We're playing all around good baseball, and just like I said, we didn't have everyone down there, so feels good to be like, yeah, you didn't get our best, and now you got our best.
Exactly, and this is what it looks like.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you were actually the guy that got Ford out here. You were the one that reached out to him and said, hey, I'm going out to Spearfish, would love you to come out here. First of all, how did that friendship start? Because you guys kind of just missed each other, I believe, in college, or did you play together at summer?
We played together at North Iowa Area Community College for 1 season. I was a sophomore,
Gotcha.
He was a freshman, and then that's kind of how we started our friendship there. Was me and him would go hit baseballs every night, and then go get food after games, just hang out, go read the Bible together and stuff like that. And then we. I just happened to reach out to him one day, congratulating him on committing to Georgia Gwinnett, and say, hey, where are you playing summer ball at? And he's like, nowhere. And I was like, well, let's go out to Spearfish together. And I think me and him want to come back next year because it's a great place to be at. Exploring everything, fishing, team culture, fans, everything. It's just awesome to be around.
Well, you're probably one of the best recruiters that we've got then. You're getting one of the hottest bats in the Independence League, but looks like you might be taking that title as he's out the door. But, again, we talk about it over and over again. Summer ball is so weird. You're meeting a bunch of new guys, but it feels like this team is so close within this first month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, partially to Seth. He came back from last year. So did Finn, I'm pretty sure, and Chase. I'm probably forgetting a few guys.
I think Jordan came back, too.
Oh, yeah, Big Bo.
Yep.
Yeah, all those guys came back here in the first practice. They were like, hey, like we've been really close the last few years of going to the playoffs. Like, this is our year. Like, let's go. And, they kind of set the standard for us. And then just, everyone just kind of was like, yeah, like we want to win, too. And so, we all kind of gelled together like that. And it's just been just awesome because everyone – fights for one another, and it's just awesome that everyone has each other's backs, and it's just great team culture.
It's been fun to watch. It was an absolute movie tonight. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us up here. Congrats on the home run.
Thank you.
Tying it up and then walk-off winner.
Yeah.
No better way to go into the 5-day break. Congrats, Sam.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Aiden's going to hop back on the mic here so we can close things out. What a night here in Spearfish. And, Aiden, now we go to the 5-day break.
Yep.
But first, let's get your thoughts on tonight. You were off and on the mic. You were producing, directing the whole game. Had to run down to fix the camera a few times.
I love it. I love the hustle. I love the grind. Give me 10 seconds. I'm going to play you a song.
Oh, boy.
That's going to
Here we go.
epitomize what just happened, all right?
All right. Here
we
go.
I think you'll probably get this one.
Little Moneyball action. True enough. As we head
Are you kidding me? AJ.
We're putting that behind the highlight reel.
Listen, how can you not be romantic about baseball? All right? Listen, we're not Peter Brandt. We're no Billy Bean, okay? We're AJ Reister and Aiden Words broadcasting a beautiful game. AJ's voice, butter. butter, okay? Sam Kwapnowski swing, butter. Dominic Torelli's clutchness, butter, okay? Unreal. Unreal end to a game. I don't really have any thoughts on the entirety of the first part of the game. I don't even care.
No.
I mean, I do care, obviously.
Well, obviously, there's always things to work on.
Right,
But
right.
you have to celebrate the wins. And that's what
Unreal.
we're doing tonight.
Unreal. Yeah, the camera had to be fixed a couple times. A couple players jumped up on the fence. So be it, right? There's my cardio for the day. We're off and running, all right? You're doing marathon prep. I'm doing wind sprint prep over here. All right, AJ.
Get ready to get back on the football field.
Oh, God, maybe. I don't know. My inner hamstring is telling me I should probably retire from all activity, but so be it. 5-day break, and we'll go do some fun things. But, AJ, just a beautiful, beautiful night here at the ballpark. Again, it started off real hot.
Yeah,
but
92 degrees.
I'll tell you, it's what time now? It's 9:22. It's probably dropped not too far, but probably into the mid-upper 70s. But, again, with this fan blowing at us, 70 degrees, it really feels like a perfect night at the ballpark. You could smell the hot dogs. You could smell the anticipation in the air, AJ. This was a beautiful, beautiful night for a walk-off. And, again, we needed it. We wanted it. Tied for first with Hastings, still in first place for us. And what a way to do it.
Yeah.
What a way to do it.
What a way to do it, indeed. From all of us here in Spearfish, celebrating the walk-off win, 76.
Throw it on. Throw it on.
Ryan Bachman left his helmet up, so this is how we're going to end it. 7-6 the final. Walk-off winner Lucas Torelli is the hero. From all of us here in Spearfish, my partner Aiden Wirtz, I'm AJ Reister, wishing you good night and beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota.